It's game day in Arlington, Texas, and Zap has the action you're looking for. Broadcasting live, it's Texas High School Baseball presented by John Wade Roofing. The pregame show is coming up right after this. Stay tuned.
John Wade Roofing is celebrating 40 years serving the Arlington area. John Sr. played for Colt football and was the team MVP in '76. He went on to play for TCU, earning all conference honors. The family has a Colt legacy that spans generations and wants to help your family's roofing needs, plus gutters, painting, solar, and more. For more information, go to johnwaderoofing.com.
If you're a small business owner looking for reliable insurance coverage, or perhaps just navigating the complexities of Medicare, look no further. Chapman Cornelius Insurance Services is a family-owned, independent agency with over 50 years of experience, specializing in tailored insurance solutions for small businesses and their owners. Whether you need property, liability, commercial auto, or even life and health insurance, their agents can help you feel secure in selecting the insurance you need. Call April Chapman or Jason Ott today at 817-265-3346.
What you're looking at, folks, is a live look here at Arlington High School, where the Arlington High School Colts will take on the Sam Houston Texans tonight for Game 2 of this matchup. And fans, this is the Chapman Cornelius pregame show. We want to thank our sponsors, Chapman Cornelius Insurance, Inc., a family-owned business with a team of professionals who have helped serve the Arlington area for over 50 years. Don't let insurance be a headache. Chapman Cornelius can help you create a custom insurance plan tailored to your small business needs and budget. Call April Chapman or Jason Ott today at 817-265-3346 or go to www.chapman-cornelius.com. Jot Holly on the call here with Don Pops Arnold, the legend. We call him the legend of Arlington all the way around. He's here to watch the Sam Houston Texans, a school he works at, take on the Arlington High Colts, a school he went to. Sam Houston's coming in this season 4-13 overall record. 1-4 in district play, with that one win being over Bowie last Friday. Arlington High School's 8-10 overall record this season, 3-2 in district, and one of those 3 wins was Tuesday and or Wednesday, however you want to put it, versus the Sam Houston Texans.
Yeah, Jot, excited to be here tonight. This is my first game at Colt Field for this year. I've seen the Colts several other games, including that beautiful game opening against Haltom, where Danny Bustamante was able to pitch the perfect ball game that night. I've seen the Colts, but this is my first time at home here at Colt Field. I'm glad to be here tonight. You're right. I want to highlight that this could be a trap game. You know, you're talking about trap games in football. And De La Rosa pitched a good game for Sam Houston on Wednesday and held the Colts' bats silent for 5 innings. Now, Zach has always noted, and we've seen it this year, the Colts' offense will score in bunches. And they did that. They woke up in the 6th inning. De La Rosa may have gotten a little tired, and the Colt bats came alive and put a 3 spot on the board, and that's all they needed to win that game on Wednesday in the Lightning delay game. But the guy that's on the mound for them tonight, Mark Ramos, is the one that blanked Bowie to get their one district win.
If the Colts score a lot of games, a lot of runs in bunches, what they need to do is to get to Ramos early and often. Ramos last Friday had 10 strikeouts, 4 walks, 4 hits, no ran. Bowie shutout, 7-0 win over the Bowie Volunteers to give Bowie their first and only loss of district play this early season. Ramos came up to bat as well. He had 3 hits in that game, so he can do both hit and pitch. So for Arlington, a team that works late, scores late, gets hits, runs late, as I've seen versus Haltom, and as Pops has seen, you want to get the Ramos early and often. Don't fall behind in the count. He works really well in the count. And when he's down 2-0, 3-0, 3-1, he has a great breaking pitch that can hit outside corner and make any hitter not want to swing at that 3-2. So, Pops, what they want to do tonight, make sure Ramos does not get comfortable with that 2-0, 3-0, because the breaking pitch is coming.
Yeah, and you know, the pitcher for the Arlington Colts tonight is going to be Abe Alvarado. And Abe went into South Grand Prairie last week and was able to hold the South Grand Prairie Warriors for 5 innings. Mason Hensley came in and nailed it down for the save. And so that combination was really good last week, and Abe's going to be on the bump here tonight for us. Bustamante did a really good job last Wednesday, shutting out Sam Houston. And so it's been a good set of series between these two teams so far, and we're looking forward to another good one tonight as the Colts are being announced on the field and coming out to the sideline. You may be able to see that on the video camera feed we have here. Sam Houston is already out on the line after their introductions. John, do you have any more things we're looking forward to in this ball game? From Arlington's defense played well the other night, turned several double plays. Bustamonte's pitching held them, and then the bats came alive and got just enough, so we're hoping for the same thing here tonight.
Alvarado's last start that I got to see of him was, I believe, 2 weeks ago versus Haltom in the win game. And the defense behind him kind of let him down. Alvarado did a great job. He only surrendered 2 runs that were actually earned. All the other runs were unearned because of the 6 errors that Arlington High had surrendered. So tonight, if the defense shows up to help Alvarado, just expect a good game from the Colts. And that's what would be one of the keys to success I'll be looking for Arlington High School.
Okay. Well, let's look at the starting lineup as the Colts are being introduced on the field. Let's tell you where they're playing tonight. At first base is going to be Matthew Wynn. Second base, Hayden White. Over at third base, Danny Bustamonte. Shortstop is Mason Hensley. Left field, Axel Alvarado. Center field, Gannon Howard. Right field, London Prater. The battery for the Colts tonight, Jeremiah Taylor behind the plate, and as we mentioned earlier, on the hill for the Colts, Abe Alvarado. The batting order for Sam Houston, as we get ready to see them up to bat first, will give their defensive positions in between innings. Leading off for Sam Houston is that pitcher from Wednesday night, Sebastian De La Rosa. He'll be playing center field. Batting second, Angel Estrada, the third baseman for Sam tonight. Batting third, Mark Ramos. He'll be pitching for Sam. Number 4 hitter, Oliver Coronado, the designated hitter. Fifth hole hitter, Eduardo Lagunas, playing first base. Batting sixth, Angel Salgado, the catcher. Batting seventh, Marcos Lopez, the shortstop for the Texans. Batting eighth, Noel Lopez, the left fielder tonight. And batting ninth, Adriel Estrada, playing second base this evening. Funny note about Estrada from the ball game the other night on Wednesday. He had to deal not only with baseball, but he had to deal with some wild critters on the field. Well, about the 5th inning or so, we had this critter come through the fence out there at Sam Houston Field and start running around from right field over to center, and they finally caught it, and it was a little dog, and they kind of shoved it back through the fence. So we're going to step aside here silently and let the ambient mic hopefully pick up the national anthem, and we'll be right back after that.
Thank you.
All right. It's Friday Night Lights from Colt Field. The umpires are ready. Let's play ball, Jot.
Always ready to play ball. Hard ball, softball, baseball, anything. I'm ready.
Colts tonight will be wearing their home whites. It's a white jersey blouse with white pants and a green pinstripe. You know, we've really enjoyed and appreciated the away uniforms. Look really sharp for the Colts this year. They've got a black uniform with green, bright green stripes, and it's really sharp looking. So the Colts are white on white with the green and white hat with the big Arlington A. Colts in block letters across the chest. Sam Houston wearing their red jersey blouse with gray pants and a red hat with the traditional SH on it for Sam Houston. Arlington is in the third base dugout. Sam Houston in the first base dugout. We got a little bit of a breeze here tonight and a few clouds. We were worried about the field conditions last night, John. Worried about the rain that came through here, but Coach Womack and staff probably the boys too, put a lot of back work into this field, and it's ready to play ball here tonight.
Yeah, Coach Womack during the pregame was talking about how him and the players during baseball scheduled class, they came out here, they made sure the field was prepped and ready because we did have some of that rain this morning. At least in my house, a little bit of drizzle. We had that rain that came through last night. So they made sure the field was ready. We're ready for a good-looking night of baseball. This is my third game to see Arlington High this year. All 3 games will be at home. Next week, though, I'll get a chance to see Arlington for the first time on the road as we have a joint Zap production, both games. Arlington High versus Bowie, the 2 teams that Zap covers, will be back-to-back. Will be Tuesday and then Friday. So I'll get a chance to see Arlington High on the road, at least one of those games, and the other game will be here at Arlington High School when the Volunteers take on the Colts. Speaking of the Volunteers, they're having Vernon Wells night across town at South Arlington. Across town at South Arlington, Vernon Wells night. Zach Arnold and Tim Costello, they got the call over there. So make sure you tune in early. Tim Costello, he's going to get a chance to interview Mr. Vernon Wells himself, the Ranger Killer. He was a Ranger Killer when he played for the Blue Jays and when he played for the Angels. The hometown kid, Tim Costello, is going to get a chance to speak with him. Make sure you flip back and forth. Let us know. Let them know if you subscribe to Zach the Voice that we're watching here, that they're watching there. Hey, we're all together. As we get ready for this first pitch of the baseball game between the Colts and the Texans.
We are ready to go.
Stepping into the batter's box is the pitcher from last game, Sebastian De La Rosa, who swings and misses at a strike 1. De La Rosa is playing center field tonight. Very good arm. I got to see him one hop a throw from deep center field versus Cedar Hill a few weeks ago at the Irving ISD tournament.
De La Rosa in the left-handed batting box. He pitches left hand.
It's going to be a quick 0-2 to the lefty. Lefty on righty matchup. 0-2, strong on a miss, strike 3. Quick K on 3 pitches to De La Rosa. That's going to sit him down early. Good job, Alvarado. First pitch, come out there. Strike out a dangerous man. Last week against Bowie, De La Rosa went 4 for 5. 4 singles, one out. As the first pitch looked at to Estrada, Angel Estrada, the third baseman, is not liked by the Sam Houston fans, but it's called a strike.
Lot of groans from the visiting stands there.
0-1 count. Swung on and missed again, strike 2. Now keep an eye out for Alvarado. Sometimes he pulls those sleeves up. If you see a dangerous fastball coming, 0-2 count. That ball swung on, hit high. Mason Henson's calling for it. No, it's going to be out to center field, and that's going to be out number 2. Good job, good teamwork to call off your shortstop by your center fielder tonight for the Colts, Gannon Howard.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a breeze out there, and that ball hung up for a little while, and Gannon Howard came in and had the facing. Instead of backpedaling for Hensley, Howard was able to come in and face that catch and make a good play there.
A little pitcher-on-pitcher matchup here. The number 3 man in this Texans lineup, Mark Ramos, steps into the batter's box, and he looks at a ball, bounces in front of Jeremiah Taylor, ball 1. Ramos, a dangerous pitcher, but he can also hit too. Last week versus Bowie, I saw him get 2 hits in that game where he ended up getting a 7-0 win. So 1-0 pitch swung on, that ball is hit to Hensley. Hensley fires the first, and that's going to be out number 3 on 8 pitches. That's how the top of the first is going to go down. 8 pitches, 1 strikeout. The Colts will come up to bat here in the bottom of the first. This is Zach Arnold Productions bringing you Arlington Colt Baseball, presented by John Wade Roofing.
If you're like me and need printed materials to get your brand out there to the community, then you need Eka Signs. Conveniently located in central Arlington, Eka features a wide selection of shirts, hats, banners, yard signs, acrylics, magnets for your car, magnets for your fridge, tumblers, A-frames, and more. Call Eka at 817-617-2229 for more information and tell them Zap sent you. Taqueria Taco Express is your one-stop shop for all things authentic Mexican in Arlington and Grand Prairie. And this fall, you'll now have 4 stops to choose from. Visit the new location off 20 and Little Road or any of their 3 original locations and try their $10 Taco Tuesday. It includes 5 tacos and an agua fresca. They also feature new birria items plus tortas, gorditas, and more. Find out just how much more by visiting taqueriatacoexpress.com.
Going to the top of the first for the Arlington High Colts. 8 pitches by Abe Alvarado got the Texans down.
You know, I was watching Abe's body language, and he just looked focused. I mean, he was almost aggressive out there. Like you said, just 8 quick pitches, and they were done. I was really impressed with that first half inning by Alvarado.
Now Alvarado and the Colts have a chance to come down in the top of the first. Try to get a little run production. You always want to get your pitcher out to a good start of the game. You're going to see Danny Bustamante leading off for the Colts. Behind him, Mason Hensley, the all-district shortstop. And rounding out the inning, the least scheduled batters we're going to see be the first baseman, Matthew Wynn, number 25. That's 1, 2, 3. That's what we're going to see here in the bottom of the first. Now, if we get some hits, we might get a chance to see Alvarado bat to the bottom of the first.
It'd be very interesting to see. I'll be glad to see. I would like to see the Colts bust out here in this first half inning and get a little bit of a lead for Alvarado.
It's gonna be interesting here. Ramos has a great breaking ball, so if the Colts can get around on the breaking ball and make them work a fastball in, they might have a chance. But they can't swing. They can't just sit there and watch the ball go by and work themselves in bad counts. As the first pitch by Ramos is outside, ball 1. Danny Bustamante is playing third base tonight as he looks at strike 1 called. One of the key players on this Colt team already has a perfect game this season.
Perfect game and a shutout to his credit this week.
1 ball, 1 strike to Busta. That ball, breaking ball in the dirt, stop short, ball 2. You'll see a lot of breaking balls outside on the outside edge of the plate here for Ramos. That's what he's good at. Last week, he struck out Bowie 10 times on it.
Impressive.
2-1 count. Looked at, strike 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Bustamante to lead off the Colts bottom of the first. Ramos, the big right-hander, gets a saw. He looked at the ball's hit. That's going to drop in front of the right fielder, and that's going to go down for a hit to lead off the game for the Colts. Good piece of opposite field hitting by Bustamante.
I think he was defending the plate there. He was a little bit behind the pitch with his swing and was able to push it out to right field. And the Colts have their leadoff runner on tonight.
Going to come up, bring up number 2 in the batting order, number 10, the big lefty, Mason Hensley, all-district shortstop. He's also a very good relief pitcher for the Colts. Righty-lefty matchup. Hensley drops down a bunt, but that ball runs aside, hits him on the thigh, hit by pitch. So now 2 men are on to start the Colts half of the first. And that ball just ran in too far inside and got Hensley in the thigh.
Yep, that's going to put 2 runners on and a runner in scoring position. It looks like Angel Salgado is going to go out and talk to his pitcher. A, to make sure they've got their signs correct between them, and B, just maybe to settle him down just a little bit after a hit by pitch.
Last week versus Bowie, he did get work himself into trouble, but he was able to manage to work himself out. He only surrendered 4 walks and 4 hits to the Volunteers, the 4-1 dangerous Volunteers. So if you can do that to a dangerous lineup, you should be able to do that, work that same type of magic against another good lineup in Arlington High. As we see the first baseman, number 25, Matthew Wynn, up for his first at bat. The first pitch, looked at, strike 1. Wynn out there with big 25, like very notable 25s all throughout baseball history. Jim Tomei is one of them that you think of when you play with the White Sox, I believe, 25. I know you did it with the Indians. 0-1 count to Matthew Wynn. Drops down a bunt. That bunt's going to be foul. It was a late bunt attempt by Wynn. Look at an 0-2 count now.
Yeah, he waited to the last second to square around and push that one a little bit too far to the right into foul territory down towards the first base dugout.
Wynn does a good job of getting the ball out into the field. He makes good contact on the ball. Very powerful first baseman. Good person you want to have at the 3, 4, 5 spot in this lineup for the Colts. 0-2 count. The ball swung on, foul, parking lot.
Hopefully my car's parked far enough away. I know you're way back in the corner over there.
I've learned my lesson from the future. The two or three games I've done here this season, a lot of balls getting to the parking lot. The golf cart does win a lot of the races between the kids. You will see some ball boys go back. We're going to do this again, 0-2 count. Ramos fires outside, ball 1.
You know, Jot, it's significant that the dimensions here at Colt Field are a lot shorter than any of the other fields in town. I mean, there's only about 20 feet from the pitching plate from the plate to the backstop here, and no room out in the parking lot.
The 1-2. That ball's out into the parking lot again. We'll do it again, 1-2. When I was in high school a few years ago, I got a few years on you. B Hall, I believe this is B Hall, C Hall, right here on the backside of right field. We had a few balls hit into the English classes there.
Into the classroom?
Into the classroom.
Well, I remember that window right there where the big light standard is. Used to be Herr Fink's German class when I was going here.
You got to always look outside and know something's coming. That 1-2 pitch swung on. That's going to drop in front of the right fielder. And that's going to bring in a run. Bustamonte's coming around third. He's going to slide in, and he's going to be safe at the plate. That's going to be 1-0 for the Colts as they get the first run of the game. And fans, the first run of the game means that's the taco tally. All first runs are presented by Taqueria Taco Express this season. Visit any of their 4 locations. A 5th one upcoming on Taco Tuesdays for the $10 meal special. Taqueria Taco Express, we thank you for sponsoring the Taco Tally as the Colts tally one up and give themselves a 1-0 lead in the bottom of the first with that RBI single by Matthew Wynn.
Yeah, Bustamante came from second and scored. Mason Hensley stayed at second base. Matthew Wynn is at first. So runners still on in scoring position.
Up to bat now is going to be the cleanup man in the lineup, London Prater, the right fielder, one of the men with multiple home runs in this team as he looks at a breaking ball, runs inside, ball 1.
Yeah, that night when Bustamante pitched the perfect game, we saw Abe Alvarado and London Prater go back-to-back yard over that left field fence at Haltom Field.
Versus Haltom High, he just missed one down the right field. As he swings and misses there, strike 1. That night versus Haltom was a windy night. The dust storm came through. He hit a ball deep down the right field line, got caught, but he just missed the home run there. 1 ball, 1 strike to London Prater. No outs still here in the bottom of the first where the Colts lead 1-0 over the Texans. Hensley at second, Win at first. 1-1, strike 2. Fastball there by Ramos.
Ramos is painting that outside corner. That one was a little bit high, like letter high, still within the zone, but he's painting those corners tonight, and the umpire's giving it to him.
Ramos he has a lot of pitches that he works with. Really good breaking balls. He has a 2-seam fastball that Tim Costello pointed out a lot last week. That was confusing the Volunteers here. So let's see if he can try to get Prater out. 1 ball, 2 count to Prater. Outside low, 2-2.
Okay, here's something else to note with Prater at bat. Look at the flags in center field, blowing straight away. So if he gets this ball up in the air, he could hit that jet stream and ride it out.
It's 312 down the left field line through the foul pole, 350 left center. As that breaking ball is high, 3-2. That was about chin high. 3 balls, 2 strikes, full count to London Prater. Abe Alvarado, our pitcher, is in the on deck circle. We didn't know we'd get a chance to see him this early.
You called it though.
And that ball swung on and missed, strike 3. Prater put everything behind it, just couldn't connect. That's going to be out number 1 for Ramos here in the bottom of the first.
So here you are with your pitcher, Abe Alvarado, coming up. After a strong first half inning on the mound, see what he can do to help himself here.
Both pitchers now have a strikeout on each other's teams. The bottom of the first still 1-run pitcher-on-pitcher matchup, righty-on-righty matchup, Alvarado versus Ramos. Let's see who can come out way with the better advantage here. First pitch to Alvarado, he's going to see his breaking ball that find a way over the plate, strike 1.
Nice movement on that curveball, John. I love a good curveball. As an umpire, I used to always have to wait for it to break over the plate.
Ramos does a very good job of painting the outside with that breaking ball. As he paints over this one, strike 2. Didn't need to paint outside.
Well, he changed up the speed on that one and brought the fastball, which is just a good strategy for any pitcher.
No balls, 2 strikes to the pitcher, Abe Alvarado, batting 5th in this Colts lineup tonight. Hensley at second, Win at first. The 0-2. Chest high ball, 1-2.
That curveball hung up high. Never did break down into the zone.
Yeah, you never want to leave a hanging breaking ball like that, especially as you work your way through high school, into college, and in the big leagues. If you're lucky enough to make it, breaking balls never stay high. Those are out 425 to center field. The 1-2 outside. Good job by the catcher to keep that ball from getting back to the backstop. 2-2 count to Abe Alvarado. Hensley at second, Win at first. Hensley made it on base with the hit by pitch. Win brought in Bustamante with the RBI single. Ramos checks Hensley with the lead. He gets that one over, but outside, 3-2, another full count for Ramos.
Good patience here shown by Abe Alvarado to work the count full here after starting 0-2.
That's one thing that Ramos did a lot last week, was getting to a lot of full counts. Either he'd have the lead 3-1, 3-2, or he'd work himself back because the batters would fight back. But a lot of 3-2s, and he won a lot of those last week with 10 strikeouts. As his 3-2 is hit out into the parking lot. Do it again, full count here to Abe Alvarado.
Nice little battle going on here between Mark Ramos and the batter.
And I heard that one actually hit something this time.
Uh-oh.
It sounded like it hit the top of a building.
You know what's fun for us is to be at Grand Prairie's Park where they've got that street running right behind the ballpark. We've actually had foul balls hit vehicles as they went by. I mean, just the perfect timing.
I don't know if those balls ever got returned, though. 3-2 count, that ball's hitting the dirt. Could be a tough play. They're not going to be able to field it. And that's going to eat up the shortstop. It's going to load the bases in the bottom of the first for Jeremiah Taylor.
That was a slow hit ball right between Angel Estrada at third and Mark Lopez at short. And Estrada finally got a hold of it, but it was so slow getting to him, he just had to eat it and not throw it anywhere. Yeah, so that bases loaded now for the Colts.
Bases loaded. We're going to have a pinch runner on first for Alvarado, the pitcher. As we get ready to see his counterpart, the catcher, Jeremiah Taylor, comes for his first at bat tonight. The pitcher is going to be number 6, Colin Murphy.
Murphy's been quite active as a pinch runner.
We got Hensley on third, Wynn on second, Murphy on first, and that first pitch to Taylor is out into the parking lot. Strike one.
Bases full of Colts here with a good opportunity with only one out.
Tim Costello has a very good proposition for Hubba Bubba. Hey, if you can give us a Hubba Bubba sponsor, we'll make sure that every foul ball is sponsored by Hubba Bubba.
That's a good pitch.
Good pitch there. Come back 0-2. That way all the ball boys, you give them a piece of gum, they give you the ball back in return. Hubba Bubba, hey, if you hear us, we got you. Tim Costello is the man you want to look for on that idea. Bases loaded 0-2 count to Jeremiah Taylor. High, ball one.
We've seen JT show some power at the plate this year, hitting several balls off the fence out there for doubles. Be a great time for one right here with a 1-2 count.
Bases loaded, infield corners are playing in, and time is called.
Taylor got tired of waiting on the pitcher, Ramos, and stepped out, take a couple of extra swings here.
It would turn out to be a nice night in Arlington as the sun is in my eye, so I have a piece of paper over my left eye. Hopefully I can see everything. 1-2 count to Taylor. Inside, high, ball two. Fastball. Good job by Taylor not to chase after that.
Yep. Those look big and fat when they come up high like that. It's very tempting to swing at.
2-2 to Taylor. Still one out here in the bottom of the first. The 2-2. Swung on and missed. Strike three.
Like that one.
Like that one.
Dadgum announcer's jinx.
Thanks to Pop's jinx. 2 away here in the bottom of the first. Sorry, Mr. Taylor, if you heard that. After Pop's jinx, 2 away in the bottom of the first. As we'll see Axel Alvarado, the left fielder, left-handed left fielder, come up to bat for his first at bat of the night. Bases are still loaded, 2 outs. As that first pitch runs inside, ball one.
Yeah, just tell me to keep my big bazoo shut sometimes.
No, like you said on the 2-1 though, that ball looks nice. It comes at you. You got to swing at it. And he did a good job the first time to lay off, not the second time. As that 1-0 is hit down the left field line, that ball is going to
just by a foot.
Push foul, as that was going to bring in all 3 runners on base.
That was so close out there.
Murphy, by the time that ball landed, Murphy was about to round third, and he came from first base. So the speed the Colts have on the bag.
That Murphy's a speedster. That's why they use him in that capacity.
Let's see if we can get another pitch for Alvarado to keep inside the plate this time, inside the field, but drop away from the fielder. 1-1 count to Alvarado.
He swung just a little early on that last one.
Base is still loaded. That 1-1 is inside, ball two. Swept him off the plate a little bit. 2 balls, 1 strike. Hensley on third, Wynn on second, Murphy on first. And Boosters already came around to score here in the bottom of the first. The 2-1, high, breaking ball. Doesn't find the zone, 3-1.
We got that one cloud out there over left field is our friend right now.
Right now it's our friend, but if it moves, my left eye I'm third eye blind. Semi-charm kind of live.
It'll go down soon enough. Here we go.
3-1 count. And he is going to walk in a run.
Nowhere to put him, and there's another run on the board.
Good piece of good at bat by Alvarado. Don't chase anything outside and let him work himself into trouble. The Colts take a 2-0 lead. RBI, that's going to go as an RBI walk.
That'll move Matthew Wynn over to third. Abe Alvarado out to second. Axel Alvarado at first on the walk.
And Murphy's at second as the pinch runner for Alvarado. It's going to bring up the number
Murphy
8.
out there, that's right.
The shortstop, Hayden White, first pitch swinging, first pitch fouling. I've seen a few balls without this 10 above me. I've seen a few balls that look like they're come at me in my direction. I'm tied to a headset. I can't move. If I had a glove, it would be different. 0-1 count. Breaking ball. Doesn't find the zone. It looked good, though.
Yeah, it did from here.
1-1 to Hayden White.
We're not wearing the blue shirt tonight, though.
Not tonight. I mean, I'm wearing a blue shirt, but not the same color blue. 1-1 count to second baseman Hayden White, the number 8 man in the Colts lineup. The 1-1. It looked nice.
It did. Had to be outside.
Stayed outside. 2-1.
Ah, there goes your cloud.
Yeah, now I'm left. I'm left eye blind again. I mean, good thing I have glasses on. 2-1. Over the plate. 2-2. Fun stat about Hayden White, his favorite team is the Giants. The only Giants fan on this lineup for the Colts. 2-2, and that's going to be called strike 3. Hayden White doesn't pull the trigger to swing. He looks at strike 3, and that's going to end the bottom of the first. But the Colts bring across 2 to score, but leave the bases loaded as they take a 2-0 lead into the top of the second. This is Colt Baseball presented to you by John Wade Roofing. We will be right back.
Page's Pretty Roots is a Texas-based small business where you can discover handcrafted treasures designed to nurture your body and soul. From custom t-shirts that showcase your unique style to nourishing sugar scrubs and moisturizers made with love. Whether you're looking for a fun fashion statement or all-natural self-care, you'll find something special here. Shop now and experience the magic of handmade by scanning the QR code or searching Page's Pretty Roots on Etsy.com.
Hey, this is John Wade Jr., Colt Football 97, class of 98. And the next time you have a roofing issue, be sure and call Arlington's favorite roofer, John Wade Roofing. Look us up on the internet at johnwaderoofing.com.
Back to Arlington High School, where me and Pops went to school at back in the day. Back in the day for me, more than back in the day for Pops.
Well,
I got him
it's
about
more
20
than
years.
40 years ago for me.
I mean, it's still back in the day for both of us. There was a 19 in front of the year we went to school. Well, no.
No, there's not.
Not for me.
You.
Sorry.
Class of 1982 for Pops.
I'm class of 2011. There was a 19 at some point in my life when I was born, I think.
There you go.
Sorry, Pops. I didn't mean to outdate you.
No, I don't mind. You know what? Age is just a state of mind. Until I try and do something, my body says, you ain't doing that.
I haven't got to that point yet. I can still. Well, one of these days playing basketball, though, it's going to happen. As we're back here at Arlington High School, 2-0 lead going into the top of the second for the Colts.
Who we got coming up for Sam this inning?
For Sam, we got the 4, 5, 6 men in the lineup. Starting, it's going to be led off by the right fielder, David Garcia. Then it's going to be the DH, Coronado, Oliver Coronado, the DH. And then behind Coronado, it's going to be Eduardo Lagunas. And then rounding out the inning, if we get that past this man, will be Angel Salgado, the catcher. So it'll be the 4, 5, 6 men in the lineup. As you see a ball, first pitch to Coronado. The 1-0 inside, ball 2.
Abe working fast in between pitches, or he has been so far. His teammates call him AB. There's a good one.
As AB fires one over there, 2-1. Inside, that's a good pitch comeback after a 2-0 count.
Colts did spot him a couple of runs there to give him a little breathing room to work with here.
That's a 2-1. That ball is hit deep, and it's going to bounce in front of the center fielder, Murphy. And that's going to center fielder Howard, and that's going to be a no-out single to lead off the top of the second. Sorry, I was looking at notes, and I looked up, and the ball bounced in front of me.
Well, it was just a little flare. It didn't have a whole lot of power, but it had just enough lift to get it over the second base bag and drop in right in front of Howard. So the Texans with a leadoff runner here in their top of the second.
Eduardo Lagunas, the first baseman, lefty, one of the multiple lefties that these Texans have in the lineup, sees a ball high. Ball 1. 1-0 count to Lagunas. He's going to be in the dirt. He's going to get past Taylor, but Taylor gets a good job bouncing up, keeping that ball from getting past him anymore. Arlington, one of the shorter backstops in the district. As that 1-0 is now looking at 2-0.
Yeah, Coronado was waving his runner over there at first to go ahead and take off, but the runner didn't quite see him. And it's probably wise because JT's got a strong arm there behind the plate.
Coronado at first. Lagunas looking at 2-0 low, but that's called a strike. Made it above the knees. 2-1. Laguna's playing first base. One of the multiple lefties that these Texans have in this lineup, and they're all dangerous. De La Rosa and Lagunas are two of the ones that come to mind. The 2-1 swung on foul, back into the net.
Did that get through the fencing?
Something went through.
That got through the netting behind the plate here. Watch out, Mr. Prater.
Yeah, somebody needs a heads up there. 2-2.
London's dad sitting right behind here. You didn't catch that one? Wow, that's not supposed to happen.
I need to see a velocity angle on that on that foul ball. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Eduardo Lagunas, the first baseman, the number 5 man in the lineup. Alvarado 2-2. That ball swung on. A lot of power there.
Yeah.
And it eats up the second baseman. That's gonna go.
That's got to be an error.
That's got to be an error. But man, there's so much power in Lagunas' bat. I couldn't tell either way. That ball got there so fast. But now there's gonna be 2 runners on.
It got there really fast. It was a strongly hit ball, and it took a funny hop there right at the end, but it was right at Hayden, and we would normally expect him to make that play. So it's an E4 that'll put now 2 runners on with nobody out here to start the second inning.
And we're going to see number 14, the catcher, Angel Salgado, looking to do a little damage for the Texans and try to get them on the scoreboard with 2 runners on.
Salgado in the game the other night went over at the plate. So we'll see if he can wake up here and get his Texans a hit with runners in scoring position.
As he lays down a bunt, that bunt's going to stay fair. And the wind fills it. He flies over the first, second baseman covering it. It's going to be out number 1. Sacrifice bunt, though, by Salgado to move the runners over. Good piece of hitting, though.
Yeah.
Wynn had to come up and field it. He had to wait for had to wait for the second baseman to get over there and take care of business.
Yeah. So with
Hayden White. It's the second baseman.
Runners now at second and third for the Texans on that sacrifice bunt. 1 out in the inning, so they've got 2 runners in scoring position.
2 runners in scoring
He's
position.
got to work out of a jam here.
The shortstop, Marcos Lopez, the first of 2 Lopez's you'll see in the lineup. Marcos looks at a breaking ball, strike 1. Good pitch.
Marcos went over in the game the other night too, so hopefully Abe can handle him here.
The 0-1. And the runner's stealing from home, and he's going to – that ball bounced foul. That was looked like a squeeze.
Suicide squeeze. Yeah, the runner from third, Coronado, was storming down the line just as soon as Abe went into his windup. And the batter squared the bunt and just bunted it foul at the plate.
And so that was going to be a guaranteed run there because I didn't see it coming. Pops had pointed it out to me. By the time I noticed, he was almost home.
Yeah, I didn't want to walk on your play-by-play, but I saw it coming.
He saw that. He came and saw, and he struck out. Taylor drops the ball, has to get up the first. He gets the runner out at first. That's 2 away here in the top of the second.
That when they talk about the different types of super exciting plays in baseball, people talk about, the home run, obviously, the triple, the walk-off hit, right? But the suicide squeeze. One of the most exciting plays in all of baseball.
That's one of the things you get in high school that you don't get in college and the professional leagues is a lot more aggressive base running. As you see, the second Lopez, the third lefty in the lineup. This Lopez, Noel hits this ball to left field. That ball's going to bounce. 1 run's going to score, and the other runner's going to be held up at third. The Texans get on a board. A 2-out single, RBI by Noel Lopez. The third lefty, left fielder, hit the ball to the left fielder.
That was a good, solid hit out to left field. Axel had to play that one back in. Just a legit hit there for the Texans to bring them closer and still have a runner in scoring position.
The second hit surrendered by Alvarado this inning. Both singles. And now the Texans got 1 on the board, 2-1. As the number 9 man in the Texans lineup. That means we better be back at the top of the lineup. Adriel Estrada looks at a high ball 1.
Yeah, they're fixing to mess up my score sheet.
We like to keep a nice, clean score sheet here. One ball, no strikes. There's a strike there. Swung on and missed. Strike 1. Estrada's playing second base tonight. You have 2 runners on. You have a runner on third. You have Lopez on first. The 1-1, that ball's hit foul. And that's going to be caught by the third baseman. Good play by Bustamante to end the inning. Not let the ball drop foul. And that's how the Colts are going to end the top of the second, by getting that ball on the F5 to Bustamante. Texans leave 2 on base. Colts lead 2-1 going into the bottom of the second. This is Colt Baseball presented to you by John Wade Roofing.
Hey, Arlington residents, if you're like me and tired of rising insurance rates, then it's time to make the switch to Chapman Cornelius Insurance Services. Since 1984, they've been your trusted local insurance experts, offering competitive quotes for all your needs. Auto, homeowners, umbrella, renters, boats, and even classic cars. Why settle for less when you can get the best? Compare coverages today and see how much you can save by visiting chapman-cornelius.com. Chapman Cornelius, your local insurance partner since 1984.
Taquería Taco Express es la taquería oficial de Zach Arnold Productions. Extraordinaria y auténtica comida mexicana. Aquí encontrarás el mejor menú para el paladar más exigente. Puedes visitarlos en una de sus 3 sucursales ubicadas en Arlington y en Grand Prairie. No te pierdas de su grandioso especial todos los martes, Taco Tuesday, de 5 tacos y un agua fresca por solo $10. Para encontrarnos o hacer un pedido, visítalos a su página web taqueriatacoexpress.com.
Little Jimi Hendrix in the background. I'll stand up next to a mountain and I'll chop it down with the edge of my hand. And the Texans were able to chop down 1 off the scoreboard. They bring it in within run 1, 2-1. Going into the bottom of the second, the Colts are going to bring up the number 9 man in the lineup, Gannon Howard, the center fielder. Then we'll go back to the 1-2 with Danny Bustamante and Mason Hensley slated for the top of the bottom of the second. The first pitch to Gannon Howard, ball.
Yeah, the Speedy Howard turned to bunt that one, trying to get a base hit on the first pitch here on a bunt.
Howard playing
there he
center
goes
field
again.
tonight, and he drops the bunt down. That one goes foul. Ball on one ball, 1 strike.
Yeah, Howard's trying to get on base here with a leadoff bunt here in the bottom of the second.
Gannon Howard says he loves gas station powdered donuts. Hopefully he had some of those this morning to give himself a good game. But he's a PlayStation guy, so that kind of upsets me a little bit. 1 ball, 1 strike to Howard. That ball is hit down the third base line. That ball is going to bounce foul.
Again, a foot. They say this is a game of inches. That was 11 inches right there.
It looked from my angle, it bounced right over the third base bag, but missed it by that much. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Howard.
Howard's also got some power. We've seen him sail one over the left field fence earlier in the season.
A lot of pop in that bat to the center fielder. As a 1-2 bounces short of the catcher's glove, bounces into his mask, 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Howard. He's already seen a few balls hit his direction playing out in center field tonight. 2-2 for Ramos. Looked at. Ball 3. 3 strikeouts. He struck out 3 Colts in the first inning. As that 3-2 swung on a miss. Strike 3. 4th strikeout for Mark Ramos tonight of the Arlington High Colts as we go back to the top of the top of the lineup. Danny Bustamante is coming up to bat, the third baseman, into the bottom of the inning, into the top of the inning.
Coach Bettis has gone out to the mound, and I wonder if Ramos is injured.
And we're going to have a pitching change, it looks like.
That's the pitching change.
And with the pitch, that means with the pitching change, it means it's a sign of a change. Then next time you need signs, banners, printed shirts, or any other material, EcoSigns is the local printer to call. 817-617-2229 is the number, and let them know Zap sent you. We'll be right back after this to tell you who the new pitcher is going to be for the Texans on Colt Baseball, presented to you by John Wade Roofing.
Taqueria Taco Express is your one-stop shop for all things authentic Mexican in Arlington and Grand Prairie.
And this fall, you'll now have 4 stops to choose from. Visit the new location off 20 and Little Road or any of their 3 original locations and try their $10 Taco Tuesday. It includes 5 tacos and an agua fresca. They also feature new birria items plus tortas, gorditas, and more. Find out just how much more by visiting taqueriatacoexpress.com.
Pools in Texas need servicing all year long. At Rami Pools, LLC, we provide quality pool services such as cleaning, maintenance, and repairs. So call 469-951-0107 for a free estimate and ask for Roberto. Rami Pools, LLC. We're going to make you fall in love with your pool again. Hablamos español.
New pitcher on the mound, so it's going to be a switch. The second baseman, Estrada, is going to come with the pitch after Mark Ramos might have came up a little limpy there, the arm-wise. Something came out of his hand wrong to make that switch. So now Ramos is going to play second. Estrada is going to pitch, and the first pitch from Estrada is going to be a ball 1 low. And Ramos was pitching well. He had struck out 4 Colts already.
It's very disappointing for the Texans because he was on a roll.
That's the 1-0. That ball's going to be high hit. Ramos playing second. He's going to look that ball into his glove. Out number 2. Coming up to bat now, Mason Hensley, all district shortstop. First at bat was hit by a pitch in the thigh. Hit by a pitch, and he came around to score on the walk to Axel Alvarado in the bottom of the first. They give the Colts the 2-0 lead at that point. Now it's 2-1. The first pitch, that ball is hit deep to left center. It looks like it's deep hit to left center, and that ball's going to drop by the left fielder. It's going to be a 2-out single by Mason Hensley.
Yeah, Noah Lopez seemed to trip. He was on his way to catching up to that fly ball, but then he seemed to stumble just a little bit, and the ball dropped right in front of him.
Matthew Wynn, the first baseman, is 1 for 1 tonight with the RBI single. He got the party started in the first inning with the RBI single. He's come up to bat for his second at bat in the bottom of the second. Mason Hensley's at first. Looks like he's feeling good after being hit in the thigh earlier in the game. The first pitch, the ball swung on, hit high. Left fielder is looking for it. He's going to get under it, and he's going to end the inning. 1 pitch to win. That ball is going to be an F7. That's going to end the bottom of the second. The Colts strand 1 on base. Going to the top of the third. Colt Baseball presented to you by John Wade Roofing. We'll be right back.
Pools in Texas need servicing all year long. At Rami Pools, LLC, we provide quality pool services such as cleaning, maintenance, and repairs. So call 469-951-0107 for a free estimate and ask for Roberto. Rami Pools, LLC. We're going to make you fall in love with your pool again. Hablamos español.
PDA Advocacy Group would like to remind you that autism is a wide spectrum of neurological differences and it's on the rise, now affecting 1 in 36 Americans and more cases found in males. Those with autism have trouble with social interactions, communication, and can engage in repetitive or self-harming behaviors. While the causes of autism are still being researched, we can begin to learn more by visiting nationalautismassociation.org.
Welcome back to the third inning, fans. The third inning is presented by our friends at Eka Signs. Located in the heart of Arlington, they offer same-day production on certain rush orders and offer a wide catalog of custom printed materials. Call 817-617-2229 to find out how Eka Signs can help your brand's visibility. We're watching the sunset, and it's a beautiful sunset over left field and gets the fireball out of our eyes here as Sam Houston comes up to bat here in the top of the third inning. They're sitting the top of the order. The man who was pulled from who pitched the other night, Sebastian De La Rosa, will lead off. Angel Estrada on deck, Mark Ramos in the hole to get this one started. Abe Alvarado on for his third inning of work here. Umpire calls play, and the first pitch is tipped into Taylor's glove for strike one. Oh, 1 pitch. Called strike by the umpire. Alvarado quickly up. No balls and 2 strikes on the leadoff batter.
Alvarado coming out to start the inning with fire in his veins here.
Swung on and missed. Swinging strikeout for the first batter of the inning. 1 away, and that'll bring up Angel Estrada, the third baseman for the Texans.
Third strikeout for Alvarado, 2 of those on Sebastian De La Rosa. Just a week after De La Rosa went 4 for 5 versus the Volunteers, he's looking at 2 strikeouts already.
That off-speed pitch catches that outside corner for strike one. Swung on and missed on that ball in the dirt. That breaking ball broke way early that time, but Estrada offered at it, and it's quickly again, no balls and 2 strikes.
Much of how the first inning started, this is how the second inning is going for Alvarado. Breaking balls they can't get a hold of.
There's that breaking ball. It's hit down the right side. Matthew Wynn makes the play at first base, so the 3-3 play in the scorebook for the second out of the inning, and that brings up Mark Ramos, who was the pitcher and is now the second baseman. We're not sure what happened, Ramos. We're glad he's still able to bat here.
And the final tally on Ramos for his day, he pitched technically an inning in the third. He gave up 3 hits, 2 walks, 2 runs, but he struck out 4 Colts.
First pitch from Alvarado is ball 1.
The last batter he saw was Gannon Howard, who he struck out for his 4th strikeout of the game. So he was on pace for double-digit strikeouts.
That one's hit out towards White, who catches it on the fly. Just a little flare off the end of the bat out to second base. We'll call that a P4 for the third out of the inning. We'll take a little break here. This is high school baseball on ZAP, presented by John Wade Roofing.
A-frames that bring their A game. The next time you need to get your brand out to the community, go with the printers who are in your community, Ika Signs. With everything from wall signs to banners, printed tees to hats, Ika can even do same-day rush orders on select products. Visit ikasigns.com/shop to see their full list. That's ikasigns.com/shop. Ika Signs, a partner of Zach Arnold Productions.
Welcome back to Colt Field as the Colts lead the Texans 2-1 here coming into their half of the third inning, bottom of the third inning. We'll have London Prater leading off, Abe Alvarado, the pitcher, on deck, and Jeremiah Taylor in the hole to get things started.
And a note about Abe Alvarado, the top of the first and the top of the third, 8 pitches, both of those innings were to the same 3 batters. So he started the game off 8 pitches, strikeout, and 2 outs. Top of the third, same situation, strikeout, and then 2 outs after that. 8 pitches in the first and the third.
Great observation there. Another strong inning by Alvarado. Takes us here to the bottom of the inning where we want to see the Colts put some more runs on the board. It is 2-1. London Prater stepping into the bat. He struck out his first time at bat tonight. This will be the first full inning of work for Adriel Estrada as he took the mound midway through the last inning. First pitch is down in the dirt in front of the plate for ball 1. Nice evening here at Colt Field as the sun goes down, the lights are on. Gentle breeze now. 1-0 pitch from Estrada. A little bit of chin music there. Gets brushes London out of the way. That was back off the plate.
That was a gentle breeze right past London Prater's face.
Yeah. Good thing if he had any whiskers, they're gone.
Yeah, they're burned.
There's another one inside. That breaking ball is not breaking. It's hanging inside. And the count runs to 3-0 now on Prater, who we would expect to hold up on this pitch and force Estrada to come into the strike zone. And he does just that with a called strike one right down the pipe. Hitters count now to Prater.
Story of this game is going to be how much they can get to Estrada on the mound now that Ramos is out playing in the field.
3-1 pitch. And the free pass issued by Estrada will put Prater at first base. That'll bring up Abe Alvarado, the pitcher, who's been showing some really strong outings so far on the mound, looking to improve his own position here in the ball game. Steps up with a runner at first and nobody out. Estrada comes set. First pitch is a called strike, chest high.
The top of the first had a little announcer. I guess can't say announcer's jinx because it was positive, but we got to see Alvarado bat in his first at bat in the first inning. Got a single. It was a big single that the Colts needed on the way to those 2 runs.
That ball stays outside. Count runs to 1 ball and 1 strike on Alvarado here.
Yeah, I've yet to see a home run from an Arlington High game. I have 1 home run this season, and that was at Bowie. I've yet to see one at Arlington High yet. I'm waiting for it.
That ball sails high and gets away from the catcher, Salgado, and Prater takes off for second base, and he'll get in standing. I have seen and been blessed to be able to call a couple of home runs. I had been on a dry spell for years, and I've had 2 or 3 this year. It's very exciting.
I'm hoping that was like an announcer's positive there.
Yeah, there you go.
There's one coming in this inning.
2 balls and 1 strike to Alvarado. That ball's outside for ball 3. Prater down at third base in scoring position. Looking for some key hits here. Pitter's count to Abe Alvarado. The 3-1 pitch from Estrada hangs high for ball 4. 2 consecutive walks.
Yeah, it's hard when you come from playing in the field, playing at second base when you weren't scheduled to start the game, and then your starting pitcher goes down early with might be some type of muscle, either muscle in his hand, something didn't come off right. But
Murphy comes in to run for Alvarado again.
Running at first base for the Colts, number 6, Colin Murphy.
Might have heard the announcer there.
Now batting, catcher number 23, Jeremiah Taylor.
So the Colts with runners at first and second base and nobody out. That'll bring up Jeremiah Taylor, the all-star catcher for the Colt varsity team.
One of the more patient hitters in this lineup.
Squares to bunt, and the umpire has called a balk on Estrada.
Called a balk, and Taylor almost paid for it because that ball ran high inside on him.
That will run London Prater over to third base on the balk. It's a one-base advance for those of you who may not be as familiar with the rules of baseball, but the pitcher did some sort of illegal motion on the mound. And now he's going to bunt, but no, he's going to pull it back and flare it into left center field. It's high in the air. Prater tags at third. The catch is made, and he's going to cruise home standing, and there's another run for the Colts.
The left fielder wasn't able to make that catch, so that's going to go as a double for Taylor.
I was totally blocked out by that play, and as nonchalant as they were, I was sure that they made the play.
The left fielder for Sam Houston came over, and it looks like he made the play, and it's dropped between him and the center fielder. Don't know if it was miscommunication or what, but Taylor kept rounding around. He stood in at second. That's going to go as a standing double RBI.
So Murphy is now at third, and Jeremiah Taylor cruises into second base. Is he going to get a courtesy runner?
He is going to get a courtesy runner.
No, he's back out there.
Oh.
And
he walked off to the side like he was.
Yeah, I thought he's just taking his his batting gear over to be turned in to the side to the coaches. So, yeah, there's another run on the board for the Colts. It's 3-1 now, with runners still at second and third and nobody out in the inning.
Interesting question is going to be if that's going to go as a hit or as an error, because the left fielder had a chance to make the play. It didn't bounce out of his glove or anything, but they just called each other off left and center.
Poor communication. I'm gonna give Taylor a one base hit and an error on the left fielder. How's that?
Sounds good to me.
Axel Alvarado up to bat now. The left-handing left fielder tonight takes first pitch, strike 1. So Murphy at third, Taylor at second. Axel Alvarado looks at that pitch, sails outside for ball 1.
And the infield is all the way in on the infield grass, trying to prevent anything hitting the dirt to keep that run from scoring.
Alvarado drew a walk his first at bat tonight. 1-1 pitch, sails outside and away for ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike, nobody out. Bases with Colts on second and third. Swung on and missed. I could feel that whiff. He was charged up for that one. Came up just a little bit of a miss. 2-2.
I'm surprised on the 2-1 that he decided to swing at it. It was a very slow breaking ball, but there wasn't enough time to make a better decision and not swing at it.
That one's hit the first base. He's coming home with it. It's in the dirt, but he's going to be able to tag him out. Murphy out at the plate.
It's going to go as a fielder's choice. Good job by the first baseman. Lagunas, but that was a very scary throw because he threw the ball straight into the dirt. It bounced into the catcher's glove because any other time that ball hits the dirt, it bounces above everybody, and you have more than one run score.
So on the play, when the dust settles, the Colts will have Jeremiah Taylor over at third base, Axel Alvarado at first on the fielder's choice, and Murphy out at the plate, who was running for Abe Alvarado. So no run on the play, and Hayden White steps in with one out in the inning and runners at the corners. White gets tired of waiting on Estrada and backs out, takes another warm-up cut or two, and we're ready to go. Curveball hangs up high. Runner goes from first. Alvarado's going to make it easily on the straight steal. Puts runners at second, and third now. Two runners in scoring position.
It was interesting. He didn't try to fire over to second. The second baseman got back there in time to prevent the.
Well, no, the bunts is laid down. It's right in between the pitcher. He's coming to first base with it. Takes the out, and the Colts get another run on the board.
Good job laying down the sack bunt by Hayden White.
JT comes in to score.
You brought the run in. That's what you needed to do. You had Taylor standing 90 feet away. No matter which way you can do it, one out. Sacrifice the runner, get that run in, give yourself a 4-1 lead.
Colts end up with a runner at third base now. Another run 90 feet away in Hayden White. First pitch to Gannon Howard is low for ball one. Colts lead 4-1 right now here in the bottom of the second inning. Bottom of the third, pardon me. That pitch is low and in the dirt for ball one. Two balls, no strikes to count to Gannon Howard. That pitch is hit out to shortstop. Lopez is able to field it, throws it over to Lagunas at first, and that will finally retire the Colts, but not before they put a couple more runs on the board. That's going to be scored a 6-3 for the third out of the inning. Texans will have the top of their order up in the top of the fourth inning. We'll take a step aside and take a break here. This is Texas High School Baseball on ZAP, presented by John Wade Roofing.
John Wade Roofing has been serving the Arlington area since 1982, but the Wade legacy runs much deeper in the city of Arlington. A pioneer family that has had roots going back decades, John Wade and Company saw relatives attend the Cooper Street Arlington High campus and has had members play in Colt athletics for decades, and they're looking forward to serving this community for decades to come. Find out more at johnwaderoofing.com. Looking for the most unique gift for your student or athlete? Local Legends Figures has you covered. The custom 6-inch figures are designed with you and your legend in mind. They even immortalize yours truly with a custom, never-before-used model to create a Zach the Voice figure for my 30th birthday. Huge thanks to our friends at Local Legends Figures. See pricing and place orders at locallegendsfigures.com.
Welcome back to the top of the fourth inning. The Texans will be coming up to bat with their 4, 5, 6 hitters. Oliver Coronado, the designated hitter, leading off. Eduardo Lagunas, the first baseman, on deck. And Angel Salgado, the catcher for the Texans, in the hole to get things started. Abe Alvarado on the mound for his fourth inning of work here tonight. No reason to take him out at this point. We didn't really see, we don't understand the reason for the change in the Texans pitching because Ramos was really steaming along. It had to be a physical injury.
Yeah, Ramos had just struck out his fourth strikeout of the night, and he looked like he had kind of settled down the way the first inning had started going into the second, but something came out of his hand wrong, even on the strikeout. Yep. So hopefully he's okay. Maybe it's just something minor because he's still out there batting, still out there playing second base, but making that change, if it's something he can't throw, that's going to affect how the game goes. And That's why the Colts are able to get 2 more runs in the third.
Alvarado goes into the windup for the first pitch to Coronado, and it's a curveball that breaks about 3 feet in front of the plate for ball 1.
You know, we learned a couple weeks ago, me and Tim during the game versus Arlington and South Grand Prairie, a starting pitcher can throw 110 pitches.
According to UIL?
According to UIL, but if they're at 110 when the inning starts or when the bat starts, they can make it through that bat before the game, before they have to get pulled. Just a stat in case we get to that point tonight.
Second pitch to Coronado down low for ball 2. Coronado got a base hit his first at bat and scored the lone Texan run in the top of the second inning. Coronado calls time and takes an extra swing or 2. Steps back in the 2-0 pitch. Right on that outside corner for strike 1.
And just like his favorite movie, Cars, that pitch was living life in the fast lane.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. That one had some smoke coming off of it.
Alvarado, one of the multiple kids on this team that loves movie Cars.
That's a good setup there. I like that. Swing and a miss for strike 2. Count evens, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
He's rounding that curve. Hopefully come back and nothing hits him. Curve ball to curve.
2-2 pitch. Curveball, strike 3, looking.
Man, you say curveball one too many times and he throws it.
Caught Coronado flat-footed there. And that's the first out of the inning here in the 4th. Eduardo Laguna is the first baseman for the Texans. Shut up. He got on base by an error on White last time and got stranded at second. So 1 out here in the inning, nobody on. Colts leading 4-1. First pitch from AB is low for ball 1. Wonderful night for baseball here at Colt Field. That one also too low for the umpire. AB falls behind, 2 balls, no strikes to the number 5 hole hitter, Eduardo Lagunas.
Lagunas, one of 3 left-handed hitters in this Texan lineup, and all of them can hit. All have some type of power.
That pitch sails high for ball 3. 3 balls, no strikes to the batter, Lagunas. You would expect that he would stand there and wait for Alvarado to come into the zone here. He'll be looking all the way, we would anticipate. 3-0 pitch. Right on that outside corner for a called strike 1. Now it's a hitter's count to Lagunas.
I wonder if he was thinking speed. Think speed. Think speed.
Ka-ching, ka-chinga. Down low and in for ball 4.
If we get a strikeout, that's got to be somebody's catchphrase from ka-ching.
Ka-chiga, ka-chiga. That's the other car. Okay, walk to Lagunas. Puts a man on first base for the Texans.
Hey, it's a nice night. We like to have fun while we're calling games.
We'll quit geeking out here on the Cars movie. Ka-chow. That's what Lightning McQueen says. Eduardo Lagunas at first base brings up Angel Salgado, the catcher for the Texans, who got on base with a sack last time. Good sack bunt. First pitch is a strike. He laid down a nice sack bunt that ended up helping the Texans score that run.
Yeah, the bottom of this lineup for the Texans has been very productive so far this game.
0-1 pitch is swung on and fouled to the right side into the netting. Quickly, Alvarado up 0-2.
And we seen a few foul balls hitting to the nets. We saw one right behind home plate shoot through the net and almost take out one of the parents to my left.
Yeah, that's a little troubling. I'm not sure I want one of those coming through over here right in front of us.
Versus Haltom, there was one that went straight up into the net and popped right through it. It came back in mine and Tim's direction. So just a heads up, if you come to Arlington High School, you might see a ball come towards you.
0-2 pitch, curveball called, strike 3. Runner goes down to second, but Jeremiah Taylor's throw sails over the second shortstop covering down there. So Lagunas makes it to second on the looking strikeout to Salgado.
Number 6, Marcos Lopez.
That was good heads-up throw by Taylor, but he overthrew Mason Hensley covering second. One of the things you don't see Taylor do very often is overthrow the man from either the second or shortstop out there on a stolen base. He had time. If he takes the extra second, he fires a better ball. That's an out.
First pitch to Marcos Lopez is down low for a ball. Lopez struck out his first time at bat tonight.
Alvarado, 5 strikeouts already through 3 2/3.
Alvarado backs off the mound and wants a new sign from his pitcher. Lopez playing left field for the Texans tonight. The 1-0 pitch coming to him Down low, ball 2. Two balls, no strikes to Noel Lopez. I'm sorry, Marcos Lopez. Two Lopezes right together in the order.
One lefty, one righty, but a couple weeks ago they do play different positions. We learned.
Up high, ball 3.
They both have really good batting eyes, though.
Yeah, they're very patient right now. Patient and disciplined. 3 balls, no strikes to the batter Marcos Lopez with a runner at second and 2 outs in the inning. Abe Alvarado coming home with it. Called strike 1, about belt high on that outside corner. Hitters count now to Lopez. 3 balls, 1 strike. Abe comes set. The 3-1 pitch. On that outside corner, strike 2. He was already halfway down to first base, and the umpire said, no, no, no.
That was a good pitch there. Good location on that 3-1 by Alvarado. Now you worked it back full. You want to keep the other Lopez in the on-deck circle because he already has a hit. Try to strike this one out.
Payoff pitch. Swung on and hit. All right, up the middle. Hensley fields the ball, throws it to Wynn, pulls him off the bag, and the umpire says, nope, he's safe. We're going to give him a base hit on that one because that was a good hit and a good play.
It was a hard play for Hensley. He was going over to his left. He pulled Wynn off the bag. He got the throw there. Just he pulled him off the bag, and Lopez was able to beat it out.
So runners at the corners for the Texans now. As Eduardo Lagunas gets over to third base on the hit.
Coach Womack's going to challenge it. He's going to call out to the other umpires, have them talk about it.
I don't. The home plate umpire doesn't have any kind of. Oh, he's asking, did they pull him off the bag? That was the signal that the umpire made in the field. It was that the throw had pulled Wynn off the bag, and so they're checking to see, did the umpire actually see that? And they confirmed that the runner was safe at first base. Coach Womack wants to have one more word with the plate umpire on what was the decision. If I was the home plate umpire, I would say, you know what, that wasn't my call. I didn't have a good position on that angle. The field umpire has a much better angle.
Yeah, field umpire where he's standing at between home and between pitcher mound and first. He had a better angle at that. It really should. It all comes down to Hensley doing a better throw.
But like you said, he had a tough play on that one.
Tough play rolling over, and he was basically at second base when he fired the ball. I know you want to say it's a routine. It should be a routine throw from second to first. You can't pull your first baseman off the bag, no matter how tall he is, and it's still a long reach for him. That prevents the umpire's decision there.
Yep. So 2 outs, runners at the corners. Texans trying to get a 2-out rally here going. A little check down over at first base. But the runner there, Marcos Lopez, back easily. This is Noel Lopez, the left fielder, at bat. Lopez did get a base hit his last time. Another throw over to first base. Quick tag by Wynn, but he's, again, diving back easily. They're wanting to keep him at first base because they expect him to run quickly down to second on the first pitch home.
You got to be careful with that, though, because if you take a bad step backwards, that's going to be called a balk, and then it's going to pay out in their favor.
True enough. The pitch does come home this time, and it sails outside for ball 1 to Noel Lopez.
We have already seen one balk, and that was on the Sam Houston reliever, Estrada. So just be careful with that back step when you fire over the first.
And Coach Krosno is going to come out and talk about this with his pitcher and just make sure that everybody in the infield, all the infielders come in, they're going to make sure they're all in the same play. Let's say they have another one of those little dinkers like they had earlier that scored the run. They want to make sure that they're going to make the right play at the plate if they need to, but there's 2 outs, so you want to go to your most routine base here. You don't really need to try and make that out at home.
Take the sure play. If they give a blooper out, make sure everybody knows where the base to cover and prevent anybody from getting past second. But other than that, I would probably tell Alvarado, hey, look, there's 2 outs. Focus on the man at the plate. Yeah, you're already giving him 1 hit. You have a 4-1 cushion.
Yep.
Don't let anything go over the wall. Then it's a different story.
Right. And that's the beauty of baseball. 1 swing, 1 hit over that right field fence, and we've got a whole different ball game. As it is, we come back for play. It's 1 ball, no strikes, 2 outs, runners at the corners. Abe Alvarado set and ready for the 1-0 pitch. Swung on and missed. 1 ball, 1 strike.
And Lopez was looking to hit that ball into Sea Hall. Somebody's going to show up to school Monday with a broken window.
1-1 the count to Noah Lopez. Alvarado set in the pitch. Sails high for ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike the count.
Lopez, a very wide batting stance. He's a taller batter, one of the taller batters on this lineup. He has a wide stance, but he kind of crouches down a little bit, so it kind of shrinks his strike zone. Yeah, come back, bring that pitch down.
Inside and low for ball 3. Hitters count here too.
Don't bring it that far down. But.
Yeah. 3 balls, 1 strike to the batter, Noah Lopez. He does a little shimmy there at the plate. Runner creeping down the line from third. The 3-1 pitch is swung on and missed for strike 2.
Yeah, Lopez on his 2 swings, on his 2 strikes that he's swinging for the fence. He needs to tone that back a little bit because on a 3-1, I mean, I know you want to swing at the fastball coming because you're sitting fastball, but now if Alvarado saw that, you bring something back for him that he can't hit.
Payoff pitch here coming from Alvarado. Called strike 3. Abe Alvarado works himself out of a jam there with no runs coming across the plate for the Texans. That'll set them down, and we'll step aside and take a little break. This is high school baseball on ZAP, presented by John Wade Roofing. We'll be right back.
Taqueria Taco Express is your one-stop shop for all things authentic Mexican in Arlington and Grand Prairie. And this fall, you'll now have 4 stops to choose from. Visit the new location off 20 and Little Road or any of their 3 original locations and try their $10 Taco Tuesday. It includes 5 tacos and an agua fresca. They also feature new birria items plus tortas, gorditas, and more. Find out just how much more by visiting TaqueriaTacoExpress.com. If you're a small business owner looking for reliable insurance coverage or perhaps just navigating the complexities of Medicare, look no further. Chapman Cornelius Insurance Services is a family-owned, independent agency with over 50 years of experience, specializing in tailored insurance solutions for small businesses and their owners. Whether you need property, liability, commercial auto, or even life and health insurance, their agents can help you feel secure in selecting the insurance you need. Call April Chapman or Jason Ott today at 817-265-3346.
Welcome back, fans, to the middle of the 4th inning. The 4th inning stretch is presented by Taqueria Taco Express. Featuring a wide, authentic menu, Taco Express can solve any Mexican food craving like the one I have right now. Order online to collect points for free food or get 5 tacos and a large agua fresca. I recommend the strawberry. On Tuesdays, Taco Tuesdays for just $10. Taqueria Taco Express, the 4th inning stretch sponsor here on ZAP. Colts will be sending their top of the order up to bat here. Danny Bustamante leading off. Mason Hensley on deck. Matthew Wynn in the hole. Estrada back on the mound. His first pitch is a curveball that catches that outside corner for strike 1. Bustamante with a base hit and scored a run in the 1st inning. Holding down the hot corner for the Colts tonight at 3rd. That off-speed curveball doesn't break. It floats around in the upper areas of the zone there and doesn't hit the zone. 1-1. Estrada ready. The 1-1 delivery. Swung on and hit left over the third base dugout into somebody's backyard here behind Colt Field.
We like to call that ball help. So if you hear this, we are asking for that ball back, ball help.
1 ball, 2 strikes now to Danny Bustamante. He was down in the count before when he got that base hit to right field last time. The 1-2 pitch. Curveball. Swung on, moving to the right side. It's going to float to the foul territory over first base for foul ball in somebody's front seat probably out there.
That ball is coming back. We'll have a race between some kids and the go-kart outside to see who can get it. The go-kart normally wins, I've seen from experience from the last few games here.
1-2 pitch. Swung on and hit over third base, down the line. It's going to be fielded out there by Noel Lopez, who gets it back in quickly and holds Bustamante to a single.
Good piece of two-strike hitting by Bustamante to get the single, and you pulled it down the line. Good try out there at third baseman, though. The third baseman Estrada, that ball was just too high for him, but he gave every effort he could to leap up and try to grab it.
Well, I give some credit out there to Noah Lopez, too, because he hustled over there and got that ball back in the infield quickly to keep the speedy Bustamante at first.
And he slipped and fell. As he was running, he slid, and he got up, and he saw Bustamante was still at first base. Good job by Lopez. Good try by Estrada. He tried his hardest to get out there. Just a little bit vertically challenged, but he still gave it 40 inches to hop up and try to get it.
That'll bring up Mason Hensley. Mason with a hit by pitch and a single and 1-for-1 tonight at the plate with Bustamante at first. First pitch sails really high and outside for ball 1. Next pitch for Hensley is up in the zone and inside for a little bit. Ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes to Mason Hensley.
Yeah, since coming in to pitch for Ramos, Estrada's already given up 2 walks. Don't want to give up any more.
As ball 3 sails across the zone, 3 balls, no strikes to Hensley. Bustamante at first here in the bottom of the 4th inning with only no outs here. 3-0 pitch. We expect Hensley taken all the way, and he did get a strike in the zone. 3 balls, 1 strike.
Good job by Hensley not to lay up, not to try to swing at a 3-0. It got over the plate, barely reached over the plate from our angle at least. Good job, but good comeback pitch though by Estrada.
Payoff pitch here is swung on and fouled into the backyards over the third base line for strike number 2. Full count now, 3 balls, 2 strikes to the number 2 hole hitter, Mason Hensley.
I used to live around the corner from here on this back neighborhood behind the probably more of the left field. I didn't get any balls hit in my backyard, but I couldn't imagine waking up to one.
Payoff pitch sails high and outside for ball 4. We'll put Mason Hensley at first base after the walk and move Bustamante down to second. So runners at first and second with nobody out. And that'll bring Coach Perez out for another visit to the mound. And let's see, he's got the hook. So we're going to be taking a break here during this pitching change. We will come back here in just a minute and tell you who the new pitcher is. This is Texas High School Baseball on ZAP, presented by John Wade Roofing.
Pools in Texas need servicing all year long. At Rami Pools, LLC, we provide quality pool services such as cleaning, maintenance, and repairs. So call 469-951-0107 for a free estimate and ask for Roberto. Rami Pools, LLC. We're going to make you fall in love with your pool again. Hablamos español.
Why, hello there, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to hear Zach talk about things beyond the realm of sport, catch him with me, Ben Hart, on the Intergalactic Peace Coalition podcast. New episodes drop monthly featuring news, reviews, discussions, and tangents on all our favorite franchises, including Marvel, DC, Star Trek, Star Wars, Stranger Things, Harry Potter, Jurassic Park, Dune, Godzilla, Firefly, Pixar, Doctor Who, Indiana Jones, The Last of Us, James Bond, House of the Dragon, Ghostbusters. I think you get the picture. Find the Intergalactic Peace Coalition at ipcpodcast.podbean.com or download via your favorite podcast app.
Coming back to live action here with the pitching change. Dot, who do we have on the mound?
We have Carlos Noyola, number 18, coming out to the mound. Estrada, he's going to be taking a seat for the rest of the game. He started the game at second base, but now with the injury to Ramos is at second. Estrada is out of the game, and Noyola will be the new pitcher for the Texans with 2 runners on and no outs still in the bottom of the 4th. And fans, we want to let you know, when there's a pitching change, that means it's a sign of a change. With the sign of the change, that means you need to go to Ika Signs. Next time you need signs, banners, printed shirts, or any other printing materials, Ika Signs, they're the ones to call, the local printers that you need. 817-617-2229 is the number, and tell them that Zach Arnold Productions sent you.
Thank you, John. Back to live action here. Colts with runners at first and second. Noyola's first pitch to Matthew Wynn is swung on and hit down the third base line, but it's going to go foul for strike one. Danny Bustamante out at second. Mason Hensley at first. Noyola, the new pitcher on the mound for the Texans. 0-1 pitch. A little bit high for ball two. I'm sorry, 1 1 strike. First ball was a foul down the third base line. 1-1 to Wynn. Wynn got a base hit and flew to left field his first two at-bats tonight. 1-1 at the plate. Swung on and hit to right center field. De La Rosa going over and making the catch, throwing it back in quickly. Bustamante tags up at second and makes it to third. The F8 gives the Colts the first out of the inning. And they'll have runners at the corners now with one out in the inning and London Prater coming to bat.
Good piece of hitting there by Matthew Wynn. Good power, got the ball up in the air, and it was able to get the runner over from second to third, which is what you want to do with just no outs. So it's a good job, good at bat overall, even if you are out on the F8.
Prater at bat got on base and scored his first at bat tonight. Runner takes off for second. Salgado fakes a throw down there, but Hensley makes it in standing up on the straight steal. So runners at second and third now for the Colts. The Noyola's got an interesting windup. Watch that lineup. He comes up to his head and then he flicks his wrist as the last second. Kind of an interesting motion he's got.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if he's putting his full body weight into it. He seems like he's aiming the pitch instead of throwing the pitch. Does that make sense?
It does. The only fear is when you see it come back, you don't want him to lock his elbow. You don't know what that's going to do to you.
That pitch is hit high in the air. Center fielder De La Rosa is coming in. He's camped under it. He's got it. The runner's coming in from third. Here comes the throw to the plate, and runner is going to score as Bustamante slides in. And the Colts put another run on the board.
That De La Rosa has a great arm. He one-hopped that throw in. He just wasn't that much on target. Pulled the catcher off the plate. Bustamante was able to score and give the Colts a 5-1 lead. Good job. Good piece of batting by London Prater.
Yeah, it's good for Prater to get his bat on the ball and get that runner in scoring position across the plate. That's what's most important here. We'd like to see a good safe hit, but get that RBI.
And that RBI will be credited to Estrada, who was pulled at the top of this inning. So Estrada's going to be credited, given that run. It'll be his third run he's given up this game.
So Colts have a runner at second now. Mason Hensley still out there. Abe Alvarado up to bat with 2 outs in the inning. Noyola takes a look at second and flicks one in. And the ball's hit to right field. The right fielder coming in and drops the ball. It was right through his glove. Daniel Garcia drops it, and a runner comes home from second on the play. Mason Hensley comes in to score.
That's an E9 all the way.
Absolutely.
That ball hit his glove and just fell. As that run as well will be that run would not be credited to Estrada. That run would be credited to Noyola.
Abe Alvarado makes it all the way out to second base, where Murphy will come in and run for him. So Murphy at second for the Colts, 2 outs, another run across. It's 6-1 Arlington, and Jeremiah Taylor at bat. Jeremiah Taylor's first pitch seen is a ball way up high. Taylor got a base hit and scored in the third inning in tonight's ball game. The 1-0 pitch from Noyola is outside for ball 2.
And now that final run has came to score, I got a number for you for Estrada, the pitcher that was pulled earlier in this inning. 3 innings pitched, 3 runs given up after that sacrifice fly, 3 RBI on 3 walks, 1 strikeout, and he gave up 3 hits to Colts. That's why the lead is now 6-1.
Yeah, up high for ball 3. 3 balls and no strikes to Jeremiah Taylor, who we would fully expect now to take the next pitch all the way, forcing Noyola to try and hit the strike zone here. He's struggling a little bit right now. The 3-0 pitch does hit the zone for strike one. So hitters count to Jeremiah Taylor with a runner at second base, the speedy runner in Murphy. Any kind of base hit is for sure going to get Murphy home. 3 balls, 1 strike pitch coming here from Noyola. The runner goes to third on a straight steal, and he's going to get there standing, but the ball forward to Jeremiah Taylor. Runner does advance, but Taylor also gets the walk. The runners at the corners now for the Colts. Taylor showing some good eye there at the plate.
Left fielder number 5,
And that will put runners at the corners as Murphy is over at third, and that'll bring up the pitcher, Axel Alvarado.
Taylor's going to stay in to run. Not going to have a pinch runner for Jeremiah Taylor with 2 outs. I stumbled the whole word out. Not going to have a pinch runner for Jeremiah Taylor with 2 outs.
He takes off for second base on the first pitch. It's a ball. Makes it in there standing. No even attempt on him.
Nobody was there to cover. Second baseman and shortstop just watched them take it.
1 ball, no strikes to the batter, Axel Alvarado.
The question for the Texans will be the way Ramos has pitched. What would have happened?
Taylor's
if Ramos
coming over, and he is going to get a pinch runner now. Number
17, 13, 17.
I thought 13, 17.
17.
Number 17 coming in to run for him, Sam Harper.
You can tell Sam Harper has speed the way he kind of just galloped out there. Just very antelope style gallop. He's got speed.
That ball hit to the right side in the air to the right field. And there we go. The third out is going to be made by Daniel Garcia. This time he caught that one and didn't let it get through. So that'll end the inning for the Colts here on the F7. We will step aside and take a short break here between innings. This is high school baseball on ZAP, presented by John Wade Roofing.
If you're like me and need printed materials to get your brand out there to the community, then you need Eka Signs. Conveniently located in central Arlington, Eka features a wide selection of shirts, hats, banners, yard signs, acrylics, magnets for your car, magnets for your fridge, tumblers, A-frames, and more. Call Eka at 817-617-2229 for more information and tell them Zap sent you.
Why, hello there, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to hear Zach talk about things beyond the realm of sport, catch him with me, Ben Hart, on the Intergalactic Peace Coalition podcast. For nearly a decade, we've been geeking out on IPC about our favorite nerdy things. We have a back catalog of over 350 episodes diving into sci-fi and fantasy stories like no one else. Find the Intergalactic Peace Coalition at ipcpodcast.podbean.com or download via your favorite podcast app.
Welcome back to Colt Field. Abe Alvarado on the mound for his 5th inning of work coming up here. The Texans will be sending their 9-hole hitter and then back to the top of the order. Adriel Estrada leading off, Sebastian De La Rosa on deck, Angel Estrada in the hole for the Texans here. 6-1 Arlington on top here at home. Had a pretty good ball game here tonight so far. Everything's been pretty clean. We haven't seen any errors. Having a good ball game tonight.
Good ball game here across town. The Bowie Volunteers lead the Martin Warriors 1-0. Zach and Tim Costello have that call at Bowie High School. So good baseball everywhere. Opening weekend for the Rangers. I know some of us don't have Victory Plus. It's kind of a shame the way the Valley ended. Now we don't have Victory Plus. So for those that can watch the Rangers, they are tied with the Red Sox in Game 2 of 162, 1-1.
First pitch from Alvarado is a little bit low and outside for ball 1. Here to the leadoff batter, Adriel Estrada. Adriel was a pitcher for a little bit. Second pitch is called strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Estrada. One foul ball over to the right side fence here as I kick my water around on the ground here underneath. Oh. Sam Houston coaches threw him another ball, but it stayed in the park, and so he has multiple baseballs out there now. Busta going to throw it into the catcher.
Good awareness, though, to duck out of the way from two balls coming different directions.
Uh-huh. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count at the plate on Adriel Estrada.
And as you can tell, he's just enjoying himself. He laughs it all off, and he realizes that he has to go back out and pitch, puts a straight face on with the 1-2 count.
1-2 delivery. In there for a called strike 3.
We called that the straight face strikeout there. 7 strikeouts with a straight face Alvarado.
That'll take us back to the top of the order to Sebastian De La Rosa. De La Rosa with a sterling pitching outing on Wednesday after we had to delay for Lightning from Tuesday's regular scheduled game. But then the Colts finally broke open for 3 runs in the 6th inning to secure that win. First pitch is a curveball called strike 1.
Alvarado pitching a gem so far. No runs on the 1 run on the board.
Second pitch in there for a called strike 2.
And 7 strikeouts. Looking for the hat trick here on De La Rosa. Hopefully that's not an announcer jinx.
There you go. Yeah, let's see what happens here. 0-2. Swung on and missed. Taylor drops it. Got to throw it down to first. Wynn makes the play and records the 3rd strikeout. No announcer's jinx there.
That is the hat trick of strikeouts on De La Rosa today. Last week I saw him go 4 for 5. Today he is currently 0 for 3.
That'll bring up the Texans' 3rd baseman, Angel Estrada. Flied out to right field and grounded to first base, his first 2 at-bats tonight. First pitch from AB is swung on and missed for strike 1.
Goodness gracious, great balls of fire there. You brought everything with that pitch.
The wind and the 0-1 delivery swung on and missed for strike 2.
Man, Randy Johnson came in a form of Alvarado tonight. Back-to-back heaters.
No balls, 2 strikes on Estrada. Oh, that curveball. Yes, he went. There's 3 strikeouts. Strikes out the side, does Abe Alvarado.
9 pitches.
On the appeal down to the first base umpire.
9
yes,
pitches.
He did go. 9 pitches. Wow. Very impressive. Well, that'll take us to the middle of the 5th inning. We'll step aside here just for a moment. This is Texas High School Baseball presented by ZAP, sponsored by John Wade Roofing.
Hey, Arlington residents, if you're like me and tired of rising insurance rates, then it's time to make the switch to Chapman Cornelius Insurance Services. Since 1984, they've been your trusted local insurance experts, offering competitive quotes for all your needs. Auto, homeowners, umbrella, renters, boats, and even classic cars. Why settle for less when you can get the best? Compare coverages today and see how much you can save by visiting chapman-cornelius.com. Chapman Cornelius, your local insurance partner since 1984.
Las albercas en Texas necesitan servicios durante todo el año. Romy Pools brinda servicios de calidad, incluyendo limpieza, mantenimiento y reparaciones. Llama al número 469-951-0107 para una consulta gratuita y pregunta por Roberto. Romy Pools, haremos que te enamores de tu alberca de nuevo.
Welcome back to the Colts half of the 5th inning. They'll be sending up their 8-9-1 batters to the plate. Hayden White leading off. Howard on deck. Danny Bustamante in the hole. Noyola's first pitch is swung on and hit to third base. Played there. Over to first. Scooped out of the dirt, and the umpire gives him the out. That's a weird call by that umpire. Did you see that? He does this like it's a third out at the plate, but it looks like he's swinging his arms for a fair call.
Look like a bow and arrow type of call there.
Yeah. Very confusing. Nonetheless, Hayden White grounds out.
That was a good play there by the first baseman for Sam Houston Lagunas. He's had a couple balls hit his way that a couple throws that came his way where he had to scoop him out of the dirt to get the out.
That'll bring up Gannon Howard. First pitch is hit over the shortstop's head into the gap. Will it head all the way to the wall? De La Rosa having trouble with it out there. Gannon Howard ends up at second base.
1 out double. Great hit. 350 to left center. That ball rolled the entire 350 once it landed over the shortstop's head.
So Danny Bustamante coming up to bat here with 1 out in the inning and a runner in scoring position at second base in Gannon Howard. Still a pitching duel over at Bowie, the ballpark at Bowie. 1-0 Volunteers in the top of the 5th. On Vernon Wells night at the Bowie ballpark.
That game caught up to us. We were an inning and a half ahead, but no runs come across. We're caught up now.
First pitch to Bustamante is a called strike on that outside corner.
Both of Busta's hits tonight have came when he's behind in the count.
No balls, 1 strike. 1 out here, runner at second. That pitch is outside. Bustamante waves at White out at second and says, no, stay there. Salgado's got it. Salgado goes out to talk to Noyola. I think they may have gotten crossed up on their pitch call that time. Carlos Noyola in his second inning of work, first full inning. Ones all across the board in the out and left field fence. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, and 1 runner on. Pitch from Noyola sails outside for ball 2. 2 balls and 1 strike to Danny Bustamante. Noyola comes set, takes a look, and the runner takes off and goes to third. Pitch is outside. Gannon Howard makes it to third, standing up on the straight steal, and the count runs to 3-0 at the plate.
Third stolen base tonight for the Colts. All straight steals.
Yep. 3-1 at the plate now, with a runner just 90 feet away. The 3-1 pitch is on that outside corner for a called strike 2.
Good backdoor breaking ball there. Don't know if you intentionally meant to get there, but it made it over the plate.
Count full to Danny Bustamante here. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Noyola comes set in the payoff pitch. Curveball gets away at the plate here. Oh, Howard looked like he was coming and he backs up. The fence here at Colt Field is not far enough for a runner to get in on a play like that. Bustamante draws the walk.
Any other ballpark in the district, that's a bang-bang play.
Yep. So the walk to Bustamante puts him at first base. Gannon Howard 90 feet away at third base. And Coach Bettis comes out, and does he have the hook with him again? We will see. Yep, he's going to take the ball from Noyola, shake his hand, and pat the young man on the back and bring in a new pitcher. So we will step aside here at Colt Field as we have a pitching break. The mid-game pitching change is a sign of change, a signal from the coach. The next time you need signs, banners, printed shirts, and other print materials, Ika Signs is the local printer to call. 817-617-2229 is the number, and tell them Zap sent you. The signal of the coach is a sign of the pitching change. Ika Signs. We'll be right back and tell you who the new pitcher is in just 1 moment.
John Wade Roofing is celebrating 40 years serving the Arlington area. John Sr. played for Colt football and was the team MVP in '76. He went on to play for TCU, earning all conference honors. The family has a Colt legacy that spans generations and wants to help your family's roofing needs, plus gutters, painting, solar, and more. For more information, go to johnwaderoofing.com. PDA Advocacy Group would like to remind you that autism is a wide spectrum of neurological differences and it's on the rise, now affecting 1 in 36 Americans and more cases found in males. Those with autism have trouble with social interactions, communication, and can engage in repetitive or self-harming behaviors. While the causes of autism are still being researched, We can begin to learn more by visiting nationalautismassociation.org.
Welcome back to live action here as we have a pitching change from the Texans. John, who's the new pitcher on the mound for Sam Houston?
The new pitcher on the mound is going to be the left fielder, Noel Lopez, the lefty number 4. He's going to move in from left field. So Mark Ramos, the original starting pitcher of today, who was playing at second after the after the change with Estrada. Ramos is going to be playing left field, and Estrada, who pitched in relief for Ramos, the original second baseman starter, is going back to second. So Noyola's day is done, I believe, at the moment. For the bingo cards out there, Ramos is pitching. Estrada, the second baseman, is going back to second base. And Ramos, the original starting pitcher who was playing second after being pulled, is in left field.
Okay, there we go. Everything's reset for you as Mason Hensley steps into the batter's box with one out in the inning and runners at the corners for the Colts.
And make sure you cover your free space because you get a free bingo card if you show up to the game.
Oh, first pitch plunks Hensley in the back. Dead ball will put him at first base.
That sounded painful. You hear from here. Bases are now loaded for the Colts.
Yeah.
Stampede is full. The stalls are full. Let the stampede loose.
That brings up Matthew Wynn, Colts first baseman. Has a base hit to his credit in his first at bat tonight. Be great to have another one right here. First pitch is swung on him, sky to left center. It's way up in the air. Ramos is under it, and he does make the catch, but the runner tags at third and is going to come home and score easily. Gannon Howard comes in from third, and that'll put the 7th run on the board for the Colts. Second, all the runners advance, so runners at second and third now with 2 outs in the inning. Danny Bustamante goes over to third, Hensley over to second, and Matthew Wynn gets the RBI. First pitch to the new batter, London Prater, is a ball.
That RBI is going to be counted to Noyola. With the bases were loaded, Noyola was responsible for the runner at third.
Prater gets a hold of one and sends it out to center field. De La Rosa camped under it and is able to make the catch for the 3rd out of the inning. So the F8 brings the inning to an end, but not before the Colts put a couple more runs put another insurance run on the board. It's 7-1 Arlington. This is Texas high school baseball on ZAP, presented by John Wade Roofing. We'll be right back.
Hey, Arlington residents, if you're like me and tired of rising insurance rates, then it's time to make the switch to Chapman Cornelius Insurance Services. Since 1984, they've been your trusted local insurance experts, offering competitive quotes for all your needs. Auto, homeowners, umbrella, renters, boats, and even classic cars. Why settle for less when you can get the best? Compare coverages today and see how much you can save by visiting chapman-cornelius.com. Chapman Cornelius, your local insurance partner since 1984.
Taquería Taco Express es la taquería oficial de Zach Arnold Productions. Extraordinaria y auténtica comida mexicana, aquí encontrarás el mejor menú para el paladar más exigente. Puedes visitarlos en una de sus 3 sucursales ubicadas en Arlington y en Green Prairie. No te pierdas de su grandioso especial todos los martes, Taco Tuesday, de 5 tacos y un agua fresca por solo $10. Para encontrarnos o hacer un pedido, visítalos a su página web taqueriatacoexpress.com.
Top of the 6th at Arlington High School, where the Arlington High Colts lead the Sam Houston Texans 7-1. As the Colts are going to bring up the 5, 6, 7 men in the lineup. We see the pitcher Abraham Alvarado, Jeremiah Taylor, and Axel Alvarado for sure. In the top of we're at rear. The Texans are batting. I was reading that completely backwards. Sorry, my notes all over the place. The Texans are going to bring up the 3, 4, 5 spots in the lineup. Mark Ramos, who's slated to at bat. He is now playing left field. We'll see if he's going to see Ramos batting. Coronado, the DH, he'll bat second. Lagunas, the first baseman, will bat third.
And that is Ramos strolling to the plate, so he'll take his cuts here. We're still not sure why he was pulled from the pitcher's mound. It's a mystery. Abe Alvarado with a real strong outing here, though.
It's the first pitch from Alvarado. Strike one. Alvarado, he has 4 straight strikeouts. He struck out the side last inning in the top of the 5th. And in the 4th, he struck out the side technically. Ooh, as that 0-1 is swung on and missed, strike 2. So the last 2 innings, all of his outs were strikeouts. He has 9 strikeouts so far this game. He's 1 strike away from the 10th, as that 0-2 is outside in the dirt. Ball 1.
Yeah, that one got past Jeremiah Taylor at the plate there, but absolutely no damage then because there's nobody on base. No urgency there.
The 1-2 swung on. Ramos takes a fall in the dirt. Strike 3, and that's going to be strikeout number 10.
But a great curveball there. That ball had some great movement on it. Broke right over the plate at the last second.
And the pitcher on formal pitcher matchup, Abraham Alvarado gets the strikeout. Coronado, the DH, has come up to bat for his 3rd at bat of the game. He's 1 for 2. He has a single that he got in the top of the 2nd, and he struck out in his 2nd at bat in the 4th. That is 7 straight strikeouts for Alvarado. As that ball is hit high and deep out to left field. That ball is going, and it's going to drop between the left fielder and center fielder. Off the wall, 350 sign. That ball is going to, they're going to get a throw back in. And Coronado is going to walk in the standing double. That ball had some carry to it.
That was a great hit out to left center field. It bounced off the fence right at the 350 sign, so it was probably like a 340-foot hit. Had to be fielded out there by Axel Alvarado.
That's going to bring up the number 6 man, Eduardo, on the number 5 hitter, Eduardo Lagunas, the first baseman. He is 0 for 0, 0-0. He has reached base on an error and a walk. The big lefty, the 3rd lefty in this lineup. With Coronado at 2nd. The first pitch, inside, ball 1.
Kind of brushed Coronado back off the plate on that one.
And that double by Coronado broke a string of 7 straight strikeouts by Abraham Alvarado. The 1-0 pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 1. Every Texan batter has struck out at least once except for Eduardo Lagunas, who's at the plate right now. The 1-1, breaking pitch, strike 2, good pitch. 1-2 count for Alvarado, who's pitching strong out there as we're in the top of the 6th. One ball, 2 strikes, runner at 2nd. The 1-2 in the dirt, 2-2, good save by Jeremiah Taylor, keeping that ball from getting past him. Keep the runner at 2nd. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Lagunas, the first baseman, trying to avoid being the 9th Texan to strike out tonight. The 2-2. Looked at in the dirt again, inside, ball 3. Full count to Eduardo Lagunas. Angel Salgado, the catcher, is on deck. Wouldn't surprise me if Abraham Alvarado comes back with some type of fastball here. Pop the heat right by him. Pops the heat by him, but inside, ball 4. Second walk of the day for Lagunas. And it will stay the one Texan who hasn't struck out tonight.
A dubious honor tonight here at this ball game.
His night will continue without an actual at bat.
Womack's coming out.
Womack's coming out. That might be the hook for Alvarado. He's pitched a great game so far. Let's see if he hands him the ball or not.
Yep, he's gonna have the hook there.
Talking about it real quick, possibly. Maybe something's gonna change. And
no, I saw him give the baseball to Womack.
That'll be it as he gets a standing ovation here.
Very good night for Abe Alvarado.
With that change means it's a sign of a change. And when you need signs, you go to Ika Signs. Next time you need those signs, banners, printed shirts, or other printed materials, Ika Signs is your local printer to call. 817-617-2229 is the number. Let them know Zach Arnold Productions sent you. We'll be right back here with more Colts baseball right after this.
If you're like me and need printed materials to get your brand out there to the community, then you need Eka Signs. Conveniently located in central Arlington, Eka features a wide selection of shirts, hats, banners, yard signs, acrylics, magnets for your car, magnets for your fridge, tumblers, A-frames, and more. Call Eka at 817-617-2229 for more information and tell them Zap sent you.
Zach Arnold Productions is proud to service the greater Arlington and DFW area. With experience in broadcasting, podcasting, web series, public address, marketing, and public relations, Zap can help you tackle any modern communications task. Whether you need an announcer for your sporting event or just need help proofing a press release, be sure to call 817-319-2402 to see how you can find energetic media solutions for your task with Zach Arnold Productions.
Welcome back to Arlington High School, where we have a pitching change. Pops, who we got on the mound?
The former left fielder who started the game out there in left field tonight, Axel Alvarado, number 5, coming in to pitch for the Colts. After a fantastic performance from Abe Alvarado to take it 6 1/3 innings here. We'll get the spyglasses on here and see who took Axel's place out there in left field. 15 in left field. Number 15 for the Colts is Cody Cleveland. Cody Cleveland in left field.
Final number for Abe Alvarado. 10 strikeouts, 4 hits, 2 walks, and 1 earned run. 5 1/3.
He does come in with a bit of a jam here with the Texans having 2 runners on base here. Oliver Coronado, the DH, out at second. Eduardo Lagunas, the first baseman on the walk, takes up position at first base. And there's just 1 out in the inning here.
As we go from one Alvarado to another.
Yep.
We'll see Salgado, Angel Salgado, the catcher, at the plate. He's 0 for 1. He has a sac bunt and a strikeout. And he looks at a strike called 0-1. 2 runners on, 1 run out here in the top of the 6th. The Texans are looking to try to get themselves in a better position and rally. The 0-1 from Axel. Fastball, but it's not going to make over the plate. 1-1.
A little bit high in the zone there. A little bit too much juice on that one for Axel. Axel's also the backup catcher for the Colts.
From one backup catcher to the starting catcher, that 1-1 pitch is swung on foul. Strike 2. Foul tipped into the glove of Jeremiah Taylor.
Yeah, good play there by Taylor to hang on to that one and keep it a strike instead of a foul ball.
Coronado at second. Lagunas, who got walked in the last batter for Abraham, setting on first. 1 ball, 2 strikes to the catcher, Salgado. The 1-2, that's going to be grounded into the dirt. Hensley has a tough play. Busta cuts him off. He fires the first, and he's going to be out. Meanwhile, the runners were advanced on the 5-3 putout.
Good play there by Busta, charging that slowly hit ball that was chopped just to the left side of the pitcher there. But the 5-3 putout gives us 2 outs in the inning.
It's going to bring up Marcos Lopez, the shortstop for the Texans. He is 1 for 2. He has a single, and he struck out in his first plate appearance of the night. 2 runners in scoring position, 1 at third, 1 at second. And Lopez gets hit chin high.
Yeah.
That hit him, and they came straight back towards us. Knocked your zip tie off that sign there.
Did it?
It did.
Oh, it ripped right through it. I'll have to make a new one.
I'm just glad it didn't rip through the net because we were sitting right here next to it. We saw one come through the net earlier behind home plate. That one would have ricocheted right to us.
So I've seen this situation for the Texans several times before where they get the bases loaded and in a situation and they can't bring the runs across.
They're hoping for a different situation here with Noel Lopez, who's currently on the mound as a pitcher. He's in the batter's box, the big left-hander, 1 of 3 left-handers for this Texan lineup. He's 1 for 2, and he looks at a strike.
Jeremiah cocked like he was fixing to throw down to third, but he held it.
Nobody liked the strike call. It looked like it was outside, but strike 1 called either way. Lopez in his first bat, he singled, got an RBI. The Texans' only run came in the second inning. The 0-1. Questionable call again, but called strike. Strike two. And even I didn't like that call.
Yeah, the Lopez is shaking his head at the plate. The Texan fans are not happy.
It was a very quiet, from our at least vantage point, it looked questionable, and nobody to my right liked it. Except for Pops, maybe, because he's directly to my right, but kind of catty corner right.
I am neutral. Take the fifth on that one.
Neutral spokesman here. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bases loaded. The 0-2. And he is going to go sit down. Strike 3 is going to end the inning as the Texans will leave the bases loaded. And Noel Lopez does not like that call. But either way, it's going to take us to the bottom of the 6th with the Colts lead 7-1 here at Arlington High School. This is Zach Arnold Productions bringing you Colt baseball right after this.
Local Legends Figures immortalizes your athlete's achievements for a lifetime. Featuring 6-inch figures with poses in football, baseball, band, hockey, even lacrosse. Local Legends makes every effort to show their likeness down to every possible uniform detail. To order your custom figure, call 817-681-0393 or email orders@locallegendsfigures.com.
We're back here on to the high school across town. Zach's scoreboard reader shows 1-0 Volunteers lead. We received the text. It was 2-0 Volunteers over the Warriors in the bottom of the 6th.
Well, we got a text that said it was 2-0, but the score bug from the ball field at Bowie says 1-0 balls in the top of the 6th.
Hopefully it's just a minor technical error, but either way, it looks like the Volunteers are 2 inning away from getting a win over the Martin Warriors to move to 5-1 in district play. Here at Arlington High School, the 3-2 district play, the 3-2 Colts in district play, looking to go to 4-2 as they lead the Texans 7-1, going to the bottom of the 6th.
Yeah, the field view on the YouTube feed from the ballpark is a really clear-looking feed, but we just can't quite see the scoreboard out there in right field. A little bit too small, but we'll go with the 1-0, which is the official, as we get the first batter for the Colts here.
We never want to question anybody's call on judgment, as that first pitch is looked at.
This is Cleveland up to bat for the Colts. Cody Cleveland.
Cody Cleveland, number 15, the left-hander, is up to bat for the Colts as he looks at a 1-0 count. The 1-0 over Cleveland's head. Noel Lopez is on the mound. He's not happy about that last strikeout at his previous plate appearance. 2-0 count. That ball's low in the dirt. 3-0. Some of this is frustration showing out the mound. 3-0 count to Cleveland. First plate appearance, and he's going to take the base. Ball 4. So Cleveland's going to be at first. The Texans fans to my right are not happy.
And Coach Pettis is going out to the mound. The Texans are not pleased with the current officiating situation here, as the entire infield is going to have a conference on the mound out there.
A lot of it went to the previous at bat for Noel Lopez in the bottom, on the top of the 6th. Lopez was up. He was looking at balls that were just they were questionable calls that he felt. So he's taking his frustration out. As he runs away, he points the sign over to the second place umpire as he's getting pulled off the mound. And as that means we have a pitching change, that means we'll be a sign of a change. With sign of a change, you want to get signs done, go to get your signs made at Ika Signs. They can help you with any type of signs, banners, printed shirts, or other printed materials. Ika Signs is a local printer to call. 817-617-2229 is the number. And let them know Zach Arnold Productions sent you. We'll step aside while this new pitcher gets warmed up. This is Zach Arnold Productions bringing you Colt baseball.
John Wade Roofing is celebrating 40 years serving the Arlington area. John Sr. played for Colt football and was the team MVP in '76. He went on to play for TCU, earning all conference honors. The family has a Colt legacy that spans generations and wants to help your family's roofing needs, plus gutters, painting, solar, and more. For more information, go to johnwaderoofing.com.
Taqueria Taco Express is your one-stop shop for all things authentic Mexican in Arlington and Grand Prairie. And this fall, you'll now have 4 stops to choose from. Visit the new location off 20 and Little Road or any of their 3 original locations and try their $10 Taco Tuesday. It includes 5 tacos and an agua fresca. They also feature new birria items plus tortas, gorditas, and more. Find out just how much more by visiting taqueriatacoexpress.com.
Welcome back to Arlington High School, where the Colts lead 7-1 in the bottom of the 6th. We have a new pitcher on the mound for the Texans. Who do we have pitching, Pops?
Texans bring in for the mound appearance Marcos Lopez, number 6, now on to pitch for the Texans. Right-handed pitcher. This is the 5th pitcher of the night for the Sam Houston Texans.
The last pitcher, Noel Lopez. I don't know if he was semi-tossed, but he was pulled after 4 batters. 2 of those batters he walked. One was hit by a pitch, Mason Hensley. The other one was Cleveland, who we just saw there get a 4-pitch walk. Lopez, his day might be done. He was very frustrated about how his previous batting appearance went in the top of the 6th when he was he struck out on 3 questionable pitches. One for sure was a strikeout, but the first strike and strike 2 were very questionable to everybody.
Jeremiah Taylor due up to the bat for the Colts.
And this is just where lack of depth of roster comes into play for the Texans. While when you look across the field, the Colts have a big strand of players on their team, at least by the looks of it in the dugout. The Texans might not have as many. It's the first pitch from the other Lopez. It's going to be high and away, ball 1. Jeremiah Taylor, he is 1 for 2, but he's reached base safely. 1 with a double and 1 with the walk. As the runner goes, and Taylor's going to get that ball hit out into left field. Ramos, the left fielder, brings that ball in, prevent any of the damage. The runner is able to make it safely to second. Taylor gets there at first. 2 on the bottom of the 6th. Still no outs.
Good solid hit there by Jeremiah. Hit the ball right where the fielders were not, in between third and short. And that'll bring up Axel Alvarado to the plate, the new pitcher.
Cleveland on second, Taylor on first, and the pitcher Alvarado, who started off the game playing left field, he is ready to bat. He has reached base twice safely, 1 on a fielder's choice and 1 on a walk in his first plate appearance. His first pitch he sees is high inside, ball 1. A lot of these balls have ran high and inside on the Colt hitters. Multiple players have been hit by a pitch. As that ball slapped down the third base line, foul. First base line, I'm sorry, foul. Missed it by that much.
Yep, just a little bit out in front of that one and pulled it. If it had been just a hair later in that swing, he might have gotten that right down that third base line into that coffin corner.
And it looks like Mason Hensley was the one been hit by a pitch twice tonight by the Texans pitcher. Says the 1-1 is high. Ball 2. Frustration mounting on the mound for the Texans. They get a pinch runner there across the field for Jeremiah Taylor.
Looks like Harper coming back in to run.
Harper with the speed. I like the stroll out there to first base. Make the pitcher wait a little bit, but preserve the speed and the stamina. 2-1. Breaking ball misses again. 3-1. And it sounded like Barney from The Simpsons was on the other side of the sign. 3-1 count to Alvarado. Still no outs. 3-1 high. Makes him duck for it. Ball 4.
That ball was dangerously inside and at the upper end of the zone towards the head, but Axel able to duck away from it safely.
Hayden White is going to be up to bat now. He has reached base safely on he has not reached base. I'm sorry. He is 0 for 2. He sacrificed bunt that got an RBI in the 3rd inning. He struck out in his first plate appearance, and he grounded out in a 5-3 ground out in the 5th. He believe he's the only Colt to not reach base safely tonight. Looking to change that here.
With the bases loaded, nonetheless.
Bases loaded. The first pitch is a strike.
Depending on what the Colts can do here, we could be facing a run roll.
Actually, I'm sorry. That's a different batter. That is not Hayden White. That is Corbin Kuras. He's looking at his 0-2 count. Kuras, number 21, his first plate appearance. He's batting in the place of Hayden White, the second baseman. The 0-2, foul tip back. Do it again, 0-2.
Good to get some of these players that need to be in a backup role. Some live experience here, as we see on deck, is Noah Cifuentes.
So Fuentes will be on deck behind Kuras. As Kuras works it back to 1-2 after that high outside pitch. Colts using this chance to get extra playing time for their players. The 1-2 hit down past the first baseman. Diving first baseman, not able to get it. We have one run score. Runner's going to make it around second. He's going to slide into third. Second run's going to score. That's going to push the lead 9-1. 2 out, no out, 2 RBI single for Kuras. Pinch hit single. That's going to give the Colts a 9-1 lead over the Texans in the bottom of the 6th.
So that plated Cleveland and Taylor on that hit. And that leaves runners at the corners for the Colts. As Cifuentes steps in to bat. And the umpire is going over to the first base side and talking to Coach Bettis. Well, no way we can know what's going on there. Oh, he's just announcing the pinch hitter. That's all he was doing. That's all he was doing. So Noah Cifuentes getting a pinch hit for the Colts here with runners at the corners and nobody out. One more hit. And we're done. Run rule.
If it's 10 runs, though.
Oh, 11 runs. We got it to 11.
11 runs.
We got to get to 11. I forgot about the Texans 1 run. Sorry about that, guys.
We're almost
My bad.
Taqueria Taco Express was calling Pop saying, hey, we're almost there. You got to get here before we close.
Exactly.
1 ball, no strikes to Cifuentes, a pinch hitter, number 26. The runner takes off going to second. It's going to be no throw down to second. It's going to be a stolen base for Kuras. Good piece of running there. Really realize nobody's at second. Texans infielders just letting runners run left and right from first to second. The Colts have a 9-1 lead here in the bottom of the 6th. 2-0 count. Cifuentes looks at strike 1. High, outside, chin high. See,
I don't want to umpire from here, but
everything's questionable now after the last inning. 2-1 counts for Cifuentes. That ball's off the catcher's helmet.
Helmet or shoulder? I'm not sure which it was, but it is.
It sounded bad. It sounded maybe worse than what it looked, but now it's going to run the count 2-2 after that foul tip. Looked like it was off the side of the helmet. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Still no out here in the bottom of the 6th with the Colts leading 9-1. That ball is going to be high and away. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Now you have to question everything before you call what it is.
Who's on deck? I'm looking at number maybe 14 down there for the Colts.
I can't see.
We're due up for the lead off the top of the order. Yep, that's number 14.
The 3-2. That ball's going to be hit high. First baseman's calling for it, and it's going to go out. Foul into the Sam Houston dugout. Then it bounced so hard, it bounced over the dugout. Full count still. Number 14 is up to bat for the Arlington High Colts. That's going to be Gamez.
Gamez on deck. We're getting a lot of pinch runners here late in the game, and we're just trying to keep it straight for you.
Colts have a deep team here. There's 20 players on this team that we have listed. 11 juniors, 9 seniors. Cifuentes is that ball over our head.
Into the parking lot. We'll listen for the crash.
It hit something. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Do it again. Full count. Runner on third, runner on second. 2 runs have already came across the score here after the 2-run single. Full count. Foul tipped. And the young cameraman here for the Texans dropped his camera. Hope he's okay because that ball hit right where he was at. Full count again.
Now I seen the score bug from the ballpark at Bowie. It's 2-0 Volunteers in the bottom of the 6th.
Full count one more time. That ball, and he lost them. The runner's going to take off from third. He's going to slide in, and he's going to make it safely. That's going to give the Colts another run.
Salgado just wasn't paying attention. He lackadaisically walked back to get that pass ball, and the Colts were having none of that. As
Colin Murphy saw that Salgado was just taking his time, and especially a ballpark like this where the backstop is a lot closer than other ballparks. You don't expect runners to take off from third. But now we have a runner at third as the runner is able to advance. Cifuentes is at first. And Colts are 1 run away from getting a 10-run rule here against the Texans.
So Cifuentes draws the walk and ends up at first, and Quiros makes it over to third.
And Gamez has come up to a bat for his first bat of the night, number 14, as Cifuentes takes off to second. And he slides in safely, stolen base, Cifuentes.
You hear the big yell from the crowd over here, the standing ovation. Cifuentes is a big man. I mean, that's a lot of man to move from first to second on a straight steal on a pitcher that just wasn't paying attention.
Sometimes the biggest guys have the lightest feet, I can tell you from experience. Cifuentes now stands at second. Good piece of running by Cifuentes as the first pitch to Gamez is inside, ball 1. Now there's a free base open at first. Still no outs.
Cifuentes, a fun fact about Cifuentes, his favorite food is Panda Express.
I don't blame him.
Not the order number 1, the whole restaurant.
Yeah. I don't blame him as Gamez looks at the ball. 2-0. Hey, look,
that's a man after my own heart.
Me and him probably have the same order. Go ahead and get you that double orange chicken with the fried rice. Would be good to go.
But that's not enough for him. He wants it all.
Hey, I remember those days when you're young. That metabolism goes by fast. It's 2-0 count. Strike 1. Looked at.
We love us some Noah Cifuentes.
Those high school sports days, man. You can eat anything and feel invincible the next day. Now I eat anything, I don't feel like crap for 2 days. And that ball is hit deep to center field. De La Rosa's under it. He's going to fire home. Runner's going to take off going home, and he is going to get in safely. That is going to end the ball game as Quiros is going to make it home to give the Colts an 11-1 lead. 10-run rule here in high school, and the Colts are going to walk it off.
Yep, there we go.
11 runs scored by the Colts as Quiros came in to score the winning run after Gamez, a sac fly RBI, and the Colts are going to win 11-1 here at Arlington High School. We're going to step aside real quick, and we'll bring you back the John Wade post-game show right after this. This is Colt Radio brought to you by John Wade Roofing.
A-frames that bring their A game. The next time you need to get your brand out to the community, go with the printers who are in your community, ICA Signs. With everything from wall signs to banners, printed tees to hats, ICA can even do same-day rush orders on select products. Visit ICASigns.com/shop to see their full list. That's IKASigns.com/shop. ICA Signs, a partner of Zach Arnold Productions.
What you see, folks, is the handshakes of two teams who are fierce competitors tonight, but they're in-city rivals and in-city neighbors at the end of the day as the Sam Houston Texans fall to the Arlington Colts here at Arlington High School, 11-1 in 6 innings. The Colts run rule the Texans.
Yeah, the Colts get the run rule. We put a lot of extra players into the game, and the Gomez gets the walk-off hit here to end the game and put that 11th run on the board. So good job by these end of the game hitters. I mean, Cifuentes Quiros gets all the way to third. Cifuentes gets on base and then steals the base. I mean, just straight up steals. But I think the tail of the tape tonight has got to be the woes of the Sam Houston depth chart. They sent 5 pitchers to the mound tonight, and it was like they were throwing pit batting practice.
Yeah, it's gonna be a interesting conversation for the Texans going further after this. When your starting pitcher, Mark Ramos, only makes it an inning before he's pulled either by maybe an injury or a fingernail, whatever it is that pitchers get pulled by early in the game. Ramos, he'd given up 2 runs early, but he kind of settled down. He struck out 4 Colts, and he was on pace to have a good night. And we were expecting a good pitching duel between Ramos and Alvarado. But once he got pulled, the waterfall basically opened up, and the dam broke. The Texans weren't able to maintain anything. They had 1 inning where there was a goose egg up on that inning. That was the 2nd inning when Ramos came out and Estrada came in. After that, 2, 1, and 4. That's how the game was going to end, 11-1.
And the final strikeout total for Abe Alvarado at 10 he had an impressive, strong performance on the mound, and then Axel Alvarado came in and did an outstanding job in relief. And so it was the kind of game where there wasn't a whole lot of defense needed beyond the pitcher tonight for the Colts. I mean, the Texans only getting that one run tonight. So tough go for the Texans, but a big win for the Colts to take another district game and stay in the hunt in District 8-6A.
The Colts are going to move to 4-2 in District 8-6A, while the Texans are going to fall to 1-5. Across town, the Bowie Volunteers, that one win for the Volunteers, for the Texans, was against the Volunteers last Friday. The Volunteers are leading the Martin Warriors in the bottom of the 6th, 2-0. Zach Arnold and Tim Costello have that call on Vernon Wells jersey retirement night. Here at Arlington High School, we want to tell you about the John Wade post-game show. We appreciate John Wade. He's one of our title sponsors here at Zach Arnold Productions. The John Wade Roofing's post-game show. John Sr. played for Arlington High School and was a team MVP in 1976. He also played for TCU and UTA, earning all conference honors and conference championship honors. After a stint with the Houston Oilers, he started roofing in 1982 and never looked back. His legacy on the gridiron is now matched by the legacy the company has built in the community for over 40 years. So the next time you need roofing needs, gutters, painting, soil, solar, or more, call the family that does more at 817-265-5520. John Wade Roofing, we appreciate all that you have done for Zach Arnold Productions, as well as our other sponsors, Eka Signs, Chapman Cornelius, Taqueria Taco Express, IPC, anybody that has been involved in Zach Arnold Productions, we appreciate all of it. Pops, what's your final take here on the game between Arlington and Sam Houston?
Well, it was just it's a game that is the outcome is as it should have been. Everybody would have expected Arlington to manhandle Sam Houston. The game was much closer on Wednesday because of the great pitching of De La Rosa, but Mark Ramos, there was just something that happened tonight, and I'll find out. I'm not going to broadcast it, but I'll talk to my buddies at Sam Houston on Monday and find out what happened. But he was strong. Ramos came out strong, and when he came out, they just didn't have any answer for his absence tonight. So the Colts did what they needed to do. They took care of business against a team they should beat, and so that's a good thing for the Arlington progress here this season. We would like to remind you that looking forward for the Arlington Colts and the Bowie Volunteers, the two main teams that Zap covers, are going to be matched up head-to-head next week. So we'll be playing Bowie Volunteers here and at the ball field at Bowie, and all of us will be covering those games. We'll have some extra cameras, we'll have some extra correspondence, and so look for some exciting things to happen with Zap next week as Bowie and Arlington go head-to-head.
It's going to be a fun matchup. We have a new setup for you. We have 2 cameras set up. We'll have somebody rolling around getting some as we call them, the industry B-roll, the shots you see of the people in the stands, the seats, somebody in the dugout. We'll get every different angles for you. Zach Arnold Productions is bringing you something different and new next week as Bowie and Arlington play each other in a matchup of 2 teams that are going to be vying for District 6A's conference district crown. And as I'll leave it with what me and Zach talked about when we recovered the game on Wednesday. It seems like every other game something different has happened. There hasn't been really anybody as consistent. Some teams have been very good. Some teams have been consistent going forward. But every other game something changes. So as long as these Colts can carry on what they have going forward, the Texans, the Volunteers across the town can continue doing what they're doing, making progress, and make sure every game adds up to something, you'll end up with something great at the end of the season. Right now, the Colts are going to be 4-2 in district play. Next week, they're playing Bowie Volunteers, who are leading 2-0 against Sam Houston, against Martin across town. I'm sorry, and we'll be looking at a 5-1 Volunteers if they hold on versus a 4-2 Colts. But for us here at Arlington High School, that's going to do it. Final score: Colts 11, Texans 1. Thank you for all of our sponsors. Thank you for all of us, everybody that's been a part of Zach Arnold Productions. Until next time, it's
Adios.
Adios. I can't remember what the old saying was at Arlington High. I haven't gone here in years.
The saying is,
how sweet
it
is
to be in Colt country.